this weather's crazy. Like it was actually kind of warm on the way home, like 48. And I'm home, and then as soon as I sat down, the wind picked up. And it's like, all right, we're gonna keep it above 45. I mean, I'm not even wearing shoes. I just got socks on. It's actually kind of came home, just you know, have a little something to eat. Is that okay, Sako? Can Richie have some dinner? Is that all right? Am I allowed to eat some food? Is that okay? Do I gotta ask permission? How about now? Huh? You want some dinner? How about now? Look at this. So this cigar was provided us generously by Gary. Um, I've had a lot of guys been very generous, not just of now, but just in general, and I really appreciate it. And sometimes when it seems like they come in phases, like where rituals where people will support the channel like in waves, and sometimes it can get a little confusing when I have multiple cigars in the humidor, and then if they all come in, in the same week or month, and then I wish there was a way I could label it. He said, "What are you smoking?" Good, PG. Then you're gonna smoke. Shut the fuck up with this guy. Wah, 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 wah. You're gonna smoke the cigar. You're gonna smoke. Okay, smoke the cigar. You're gonna smoke. You need Richie to hold your fucking hand, huh? I gotta hold your hand. You're gonna be a big boy. It's gonna be the PG show. You're gonna give an independent review tonight. All right? Can you handle that, PG? Can you handle? I mean, can Richie catch a fucking break? Is that all right? Richie's losing his. I know. I know. Richie, and this is why I don't. This is why I like to have a solo show, because if I change my mood, and then you're like, Richie, you're not reliable. No, I decided I wanted a strong cigar tonight. I've been smoking stronger cigar. Come on the channel, PG. Answer the fucking text. I've already texted you. Wow, 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 wow. Richie, unreliable. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, 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 wow. Richie, we had, I said it was going to be lounge, and yeah, I planned on that. But then I think you planned on that. I get confused. And I was like, I've already reviewed that cigar, and I'm going to hang out with that cigar again in Torpedo. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But in reality, if we hear your thoughts and my thoughts again, and I just reviewed it the other day, it's like 3 reviews on the same cigar. I know size is the blend, but you get what I'm saying too, though. And I also don't want you just copying what I'm saying, because I don't know, PG. I got some reports. People saying, well, me and you review the same cigar. They're saying, PG is just agreeing with Rich. So
that's what people said.
People are saying that shit, man.
No, nobody said that, dude.
Nobody said that shit.
Richie, nobody in the lounge. I know this for a fact. Nobody in the lounge is that stupid.
Yeah.
So don't tell me that, because there's no idiots here. Yeah. There's no liars and there's no idiots.
Yeah.
We don't put up with that.
That's bullshit. Like, we have a lot of fucking idiots. So, anyways, what do we even, dude? Not to be Richie's defense. I thought you said you wanted to smoke the pot. What do you call it? I'm so confused. I thought you said you wanted to smoke the punch, right?
Oh, no, because you texted and you said, "Are we smoking the CAO?" I said, yes.
You understand how much pressure and stress I'm under right now.
Yeah, for sure.
You understand? I don't even know how I'm still doing this channel.
For sure, no problem.
She's getting another fucking surgery tomorrow. You think
my
life, everything's just, you think I come home from work? I'm like, what cigar should I smoke to? Dude, it's like 4 surgeries now in like 6 weeks. Each one in between, there's multiple appointments. You think you think I'm under no pressure? You think I'm under no stress?
I've got a different cigar.
Hold on, PG, that was the biggest decision you made today. Like, but Richie, I thought you said we're gonna smoke this cigar. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I went to work today, and then fucking tomorrow I get surgery. You think I have no pressure? No pressure. I'm under no fucking pressure.
You're under tremendous. We're under tremendous pressure, which is why it's no problem. But still, it was something we agreed upon. I
I
thought
agree with you. What I'm trying to say is my mind. Like when you're under this much pressure, you could literally, uh, you know what I'm saying? Though you don't
absolutely.
get it. You don't get
No,
it.
absolutely. And I'm sorry about that. And I thought we were gonna have a nice time. We're still gonna have a nice time. And I'm gonna work around it because you're under pressure.
I thought. See, I thought you said you didn't have the CAO. You had the punch.
No, no, I have that CAO extreme.
I thought you said you don't have the CAO.
No, no, I don't. I didn't have the. I didn't have the one that you had, the Maduro that you smoked last time. But I had that extreme.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm getting the tech. You know what? Go fuck yourself. Come back in about 10 minutes. All right.
All right, peace.
Dude, like that was okay. So you're gonna smoke the extreme.
No,
Uh,
because did you already smoke the extreme?
I still have it. I know you wanted to smoke the stream together.
Wait, you still have it?
I have it. Why should I get it? Go get it.
No, no, no. It's fine. It's fine. I'll smoke this. I'll just save that for later. We can smoke
What
that
you
later.
gonna, okay. What are you gonna smoke?
This is interesting. Hold on, let me pull it out. Hopefully, it's had enough rest. I just got these from Cigar Page, but these are the Cuba Aliados, but they're
Oh,
made
good.
by Aroa. So I'm
Okay.
interested to see how these are.
I'd like to hear about that. Yeah, bro. I came home from work. I sit there. I just microwave and heated up my dinner, and here
Mhm.
I am, bro. Like and I got Sacco up my ass. Where's Richie? I thought we're doing lounge. I'm trying to stuff my dinner in my face. You know what I'm saying? No fucking respect. No respect. No fucking respect.
That's rough.
What do these bitches want from Rich?
I tell
Of
you what
course
they
I
want.
watch my
They
post.
want lounge.
What's that?
I said they want lounge.
Can't have everything. These motherfuckers, man. You can't have everything. You can't have no. Honestly, honestly, I think my thought process was so confused. Like I think I combined like three different decisions into one,
Yeah,
and I confused what I thought you said you had and what you didn't have, and then so like I don't even know, bro. So
that's no.
I choose Plan C because I was like I didn't want to smoke the punch right away, even though I thought it's the one you said you have. I thought you were going to
Yeah.
smoke it,
Oh shit.
and then I thought you didn't have the CAO, so I didn't want to smoke the CAO with you because you have the extreme.
Right.
Meanwhile, you had the extreme.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like the worst intro to my show ever, man. Like I need you just to unsubscribe.
It's okay, Richie. We're gonna right the ship. We got 7 people on a late lounge. Everything going well.
Nobody gives a shit. This has been aged. This one Gary gave us, correct? Because now my mind, now I'm like, oh, did like Gail Sack give me this cigar? Like
Yeah,
my
it
mind's
was
so
it was
fucked up.
Sack. It was Sack. You didn't see him on the
No,
line.
my mind's so fucked up right now. I'm almost positive this is one from Gary. Like, dude, I haven't been sleeping well. I'm like out of it, man. I'm trying my best.
All right. Do you see the comments?
No,
To me, they're scrambled again. All right, let's get this going.
no, I can see the comments, which are nice.
That's good. I can't see them, so they're gonna talk shit on me, but you can have a
No,
good time.
you got to press the button for live chat.
Yeah, but they're scrambled for me. Oh no, now they came back. No, now they're scrambled again. What's up, Sammy, Gio, Chewy, Sako?
The only one that's reliable here is Gio.
Yeah, it's opposite day. Richie's not reliable.
My next fucking joke. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, now the comments are scrambled. What the fuck? How does that happen? Holy shit, that's full strength off the first puff. That's long finish. Holy shit. 70% darkness, which is going to be a plus because if this was like 80, 90% darkness off the bat, dude, super long, heavy, spicy, hot, cinnamon, red pepper, black pepper finish. Holy shit, this cigar is going to kill me. 70% darkness, but full strength on the first motherfucking puff. Wow. Whoa, whoa, shit. Wow. Wow, bro. That is a strong cigar. Like, that is a fucking. That's surprisingly strong.
This is the Crown Heads Imperiosa?
I think it's Crown Heads, right? Yeah. Yeah, right? Because they.
Is it? It's got a teal band with a crown on it, gold crown.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, Crown Heads.
Now, you didn't get this one, right? Like, I'm so fucked up right now. This is one. I have to go back to my. That's why I like. Well, that's another reason why I like when I make my videos when guys send me cigars, because if I have two or three guys send me cigars at once, it's in my humidor. My cigars are not marked. Like who gets what? You know what I'm saying though? So I always like to give the right person credit. But if I have like right now, I have like literally like 40 different singles, of cigars, and
Hmm.
like my state my mind is in right now, and how exhausted and stressed out I am, and it's easy to be like get confused, and I'm a respectful guy, but now I feel like Richie's not being respectful, but I am respectful. Like, I'm trying my best to keep my shit together. I'm almost positive this one was in Gary's video. I'd have to go back, but I'm almost positive. So I mean, no disrespect to anyone here.
I don't think it was from Dream Life.
I think this one was from him because he sent me this one with the Master Blends 3. We had the two AJ Fernandez, the Bel Artez,
Yeah,
and the New
this
World,
one's-
and was it 5 or 6? There might have been 6 in there. My mind's going blank. I feel like there might have been another Ace one in there too. Nonetheless, it'd be this one, I guess. I'm like, I can't remember what other cigar. It looks like it's in my hand. Like, dude, I'm in like a serious mental fog. Like last week,
Mhm.
3 times in a day, I forgot what day it was. I'm like, oh shit, yeah, because it's Wednesday. And the guy next to me at work's like, it's Thursday. And I'm like, oh, like later on, I'm like, yeah, well, it's only in the middle of the fucking week. He's like, bro, tomorrow's Friday. And I'm like, what? Like, like I just gotta go to the bathroom and start crying. Like I have a moment. Now, hold on, I gotta read the comments. All right, guys, all these stupid comments. You want Richie to read my comments? Hold on a second. Here we go. Sacco says she'll wash my balls. Of course, I washed my balls today. We'll see. Shut the fuck up. Chewy says, Sacco said PG's that Cuban. And then the guys made some Cuban jokes. Ha ha ha. Ha ha ha. Richie's a Cole. Shut the fuck up. Chewy, it was Sammy. Sammy. Hold on. Sammy Lee. It was Sammy. Every time you come here, Sammy, the comments give. Sammy. 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 Sammy, I know you're in the CIA. You're fucking up my channel. Could we make a deal or something like that? Could you just fuck up Chewy's comments?
You should have Sammy come on the live, and then give you Sammy a wrench and see if it works.
Sammy's pretty available for the chat considering the time difference. I mean, was it 4 in the morning? Does Sammy ever sleep? Sammy, it's like 5 in the morning. I mean, Sammy doesn't sleep.
Sammy says it only happens when you're on with somebody.
I don't know about that. I can't read. See, I'm trying to click on stuff and it's doing stuff I didn't even ask to. It just deleted Anthony's. No, it deleted someone's. Who's this? Who's the picture with the sticks? Dude, this is getting fucked up. I'm clicking on people's pictures to read their comments, and it said I deleted their comment. I can't even fucking. This is getting fun. Sammy Lee. I like Sammy Lee. We did our own internal investigation. Richie did an investigation. Sammy Lee. Sammy Lee. Sammy. Now here's the thing. Here's the thing. And then we got to bring this up. Sammy, I wasn't going to bring it up. But Sammy, I checked. Sammy, and I'm not saying this, and I'm not trying to offend anyone. So let's take it easy here. Sammy, I checked my YouTube studio analytics. That gives me all the stats. Who's watching from what country, how many minutes they watch, how many hours, how many subscribers, reoccurring people. It's pretty statistical. And there's two statistics, Sammy, that I have to ask. It says 100% of my viewers is male. And I had zero demographics for anyone that's 37 years old, and you said you're 30. I'm not trying to call you out, Sammy Lee, but I know you're in the CIA.
Look at the fucking burn on this.
So, Sammy Lee, do you really? Is it like there's that guy's name Epstein? Is it like Epstein watching from some island? He faked his death. He's like, I just want to smoke cigars. I'm sorry.
What's fucked up is nobody can even comment on this situation because all the comments.
I know. Like, here's the thing, Sammy. I think you're a good addition to the channel, and I appreciate it. And I don't care if someone's 451, but if okay, for example, if all we have is honesty here, like PG, you said you live in California, so do I believe you live in California?
Perhaps.
Well, if you live somewhere else like Alaska or even New York, that would affect the way I treat you because now you lied to me, right?
Sure. Yeah, of course.
PG, and I mean this in a non-offensive way. PG, you told me you're a Jew. You're Jewish, right?
Yep.
So I believed you, right? Now you made a statement you were Jewish, and I believed you. So there's a level of trust. Imagine if you weren't Jewish and you lied to me. Now, if you weren't Jewish, I wouldn't care. Or if you were Jewish, I don't care. But if you like I said, I have a tremendous skull. You've seen in the pictures when I stand next to other people, I have a tremendous skull. So therefore, by deduction, you know Richie has tremendous balls. Because if I'm not lying about my skull, and vice versa. If I started lying about my skull, I must be lying about my balls, right?
Yeah, I haven't gotten into a deductive thinking state about your balls.
But what I'm trying to say is, though, where there's truth, there's generally more truth, and where there's a lie, there's generally more lies. That's all I'm saying, though.
Sure.
Richie's pretty consistent. So that's all I'm saying, though. So if everyone on YouTube is telling me watching my show has a penis is a male, that means everyone watching my show is a male.
Yeah. According to the statistical information.
Dude, you register when you sign up with YouTube and it says, are you a male, female, but non-binary, whatever. You know what I'm saying, though? So,
Yeah.
I mean,
look, I could go down the list of why I would be doubtful of any results, but I don't think that's what's called for in the situation.
What I'm just trying to say is, though, and God bless, but what I'm trying to say is I don't want Gio getting played if he's flirting with the dude. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think that would be getting played for Gio.
Listen, I don't care whoever you are. God, you want to do whatever you want. It's your business as long as you're an adult. I don't care. The point is, okay, I told you I'm Italian. My father worked for the Gambinos in the cement business. That's a true statement. Well, if I start lying, now if he didn't, then if I said that, then call me a liar. When I told you Jimmy Galante lived in my basement with his family, and his father was a mob boss, look him up. Galante got whacked smoking a cigar in the back of the restaurant, right? His son, the son of the mob boss, lived in my father's house in the basement, and he worked for the church and he handled the books at the church. And he said he sold T-shirts for Jesus. That's what he told me. Then when I grew up and I asked my father, he's like, he didn't sell fucking T-shirts. And I said, Dad, didn't you know that's Galante, the mob boss's son? He's like, yeah. So what about it? And I'm like, you didn't care? He's like, care about what? I'm like, so you knew his father was a mob boss, and you let his family hide out in the basement? He's like, oh, no one got hurt. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Well,
Like,
Richie,
what I'm saying is, so the way Richie is not an act. Like the people I grew up around, like, I showed you the picture of my uncle. Like, you saw a picture of my uncle, you know, with the V shirt and the glasses and the chain in the house, smoking a cigarette, making
yeah,
the turkey dinner look like something out of Goodfellas when they're in prison. Like, it's not a joke. Like, the people I grew up, he used to drive around the Gumas for the made men. So he used to go out for dinner, and whatever, and then he'd pick up the mob guys' girlfriends. You know what I'm saying though, and the wives either get driven home, and then he'd bring basically the made guys would hang out, and so he was friends with all of them, and do favors, whatever. He'd leave, go get the girlfriend. The wife would leave, and then the girlfriend would come. Same restaurant, and nobody's gonna say nothing. You imagine the guy at the bars. You'd be like, "Wasn't your wife?" You'd end up dead. You just shut your fucking mouth. Like, you know what I'm saying though? Like, it's kind of like Perdomo. You have the same blend, but we have a shade grown, we have a sun grown, we have a Maduro. So the mafia guys had like a girlfriend, a wife, and a side chick. Like, you know what I'm saying though? Like,
they probably went through bartenders until one figured out not to say anything.
you think you think if you got a bunch of guys there with white Cadillacs outside and 38s in their pockets, you're gonna say anything back then? There's no cameras, there's no cell phones. The cops are 30 minutes away. If you got past the pool table, could put a dime or a quarter in to call nine. There was no 911 back then. Operator, get me the sheriff. Like, the fuck you gonna look? You got the rotary phone.
Beat bullets. They're beating you.
Dude, it was back in the 70s was a good time to be a gangster. You know what I'm saying though? Now not so much. Like some gangster could try collecting money from you, meanwhile you have him on like YouTube Live, and like he already caught a RICO case. Like he's like, I'm gonna need that money, and my boss is gonna your boss, Enterprise, they got him. You know what I'm saying? Like you're done. Like literally, he's like, I'm gonna need you to Venmo me that money. You Venmo money across state lines, federal crime, done. And you see Paul, he's like, I didn't know Venmo got me too. Fuck, no more. And you see like the boss, no more fucking Venmo. And then the other guy's like, PG's like, well, what about PayPal? He's like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Dude, that'd be funny shit. Like seeing the Sopranos like with PayPal and Venmo and like OnlyFans, like saying no.
That'd be pretty funny watching some small sect of the mob that was able to stay around because they just kept to their own devices and were just doing small stuff. But then they decide that they want to modernize
Oh,
and fix
hold on.
all the problems.
Dude, hold on. Sorry to interrupt you, but right there, fucking what's his name? What's his name? Gio said he got her phone number. They're gonna FaceTime. Get the okay. Okay, if Sammy's a real, and I don't care if Sammy's not a real, but if YouTubers are why would YouTube lie to me? You know what I'm saying? No, and then
Look,
for all we know, like okay, whoever Sammy Lee is, then they could just give the phone to I don't know. Gio's gonna end up like missing a kidney somewhere. He's like in a hotel bedroom. He's like Gio's getting trafficked. Like Gio ends up on Craigslist. He's like, all right, $30 for a quick visit.
um, look, I think the easiest solution is just that Sammy should come on, and
No,
there.
listen. Listen. It's okay. No, listen. I'm not forcing her to do anything, or her, or him. God bless. What I'm just trying to say is, I brought up a legal fact. I showed you guys in the private chat for the past 28 days. YouTube says not one female watched my show.
Wasn't there another? I thought
There,
there was one screenshot
yeah,
that said
90 days ago, there was one.
90 days ago. Got you.
So you start off the closest 7 days. No one's watched my show who had tits, not including fat guys. That's different. 28 days, nobody. Right? 90 days, there was somebody over 90 days ago. That's not now.
Yeah. I think it's possible Sammy could be using somebody else's account, could have entered their information correctly. There are reasons why, when you say a legal fact, I don't know if I would bring it up in a court of law. And I think you could have it as an idea of further investigation being required, but I wouldn't say
What I'm saying is too
that.
is I don't care if you were a dude pretending to be a woman here. That's God. I mean, it's kind of funny. God bless. But I have Geo now. Geo's not exactly. I'm not connected with Geo anymore. I wish him the best. I'll just be honest, right? You know what I'm saying, though. So in this case, I didn't want Geo joking and flirting around, hitting on a girl on the show. And when my analytics are like, it's all dudes. So I was like, yo, Gio, I'm trying to give you a heads up, man. You're macking on a dude. Now if he wants to go, keep going. EA Sports, I don't care. That's all I'm saying, though, bro. Like, bro, if your brother, you don't have a brother, right? But if your brother fell in love with a woman, but then you knew it was just a chick with a dick, and you might want to tell him, say, bro, she has a penis. Like, no, she doesn't. And you're like, bro, like I don't know how you found out, but whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying though? And you're like, bro, well, God bless if that's if you're into that, but you just don't want to see somebody getting swindled. That's all.
Yep. Sure.
And at the same time, too, you know, if you're joking around with, I don't know, bro. But also, what I'm saying is, if it's just a fucking troll, I mean, that was a good troll because, I don't know. I'm allowed to ask questions.
I think
You know,
when it comes to the internet, there's a level of anonymity that usually comes with being on the internet. So I actually do believe Sammy Lee is who they say they are. Um, but I could be wrong. That's my gut feeling. But I don't put really any stock into it. Like I said, like I mean, we've had this previously where people can come on, they can verify themselves or not, and if you don't verify yourself, there's no proof that you are who you say you are. You know,
and
so
the problem with that is we get into very like joke around, but also personal statements like, "Oh, I've smoked this cigar, or I've done this, or I've been to this place, or I saw this today."
yeah,
Well, if we don't have a certain level of trust, then we might as well be sitting there just making make believe stories up. You know what I'm saying, though? So that's all I'm saying. If this was a make believe show, like, okay, but that's all I'm saying.
mhm.
It is what it is. I heard something today, and I'm gonna tell you a story. There's a guy I know, right? And in my mind, I would not that I'm judging anyone, but in my mind, I would say he's a regular Joe. You know what I'm saying, though? And we were talking, shooting the shit a little bit, and like we don't like work together, but I see him at places where I go, right? You know what I'm saying? And I've known this guy for a couple of years, right? So long story short, I'm talking to him, and he's like, he's like, how you been? Like, oh, I've been stressed out. I told him, I said, oh, my fiance has cancer. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. If you ever need anything, let me know. And he's like, yeah, I've been stressed out too. I said, oh, what's going on with you? And he said, oh, my partner just had a kid. So immediately I'm thinking, okay, if he's, whatever, 4 or 5, well, okay, God bless, whatever. But then I'm thinking if his partner just had a kid, does that mean he just had a kid? And I was like, I'm just a little confused. He's like, yeah, I know, it's confusing. I'm like, wait, so basically I was like, he's like, well, yeah, I am. And I'm like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. I don't care, right? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not judging. I said, I feel the same way about you. I said, you've always been nice to me, so whatever. I'm just, because at that point, like, he never told me he was, whatever. Okay. I said, whatever. God bless him. It's your business. But he's like, I was like, wait, so your partner had a kid though? He's like, all right, well, my partner's not that way. I'm like, well, what? And I was just like, well, what? He's like, well, my partner is married to a woman. I'm like, well, what? What? His partner is married to a woman, but his partner is bisexual and they're in an open relationship. And I'm just like, I couldn't understand the dynamics. I never heard of that.
Yeah, me neither. I guess as long as the wife knows she's okay with it, I guess it's fine.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It's a
Kind of weird.
so it'd be like if you were married to a girl and you're having a kid, but Gio was your boyfriend. Yeah, that's what it'd be like. But everyone knew. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it was like the most traditional, non-traditional thing I ever heard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because the guy's like, no, he has a family, he has kids. And I'm like, and okay, I know there's been guys that have family and kids, and then on the side, maybe because deep down inside they have a certain feeling and they keep that secret. But so the guy is a traditional family man with the wife and kids, but they have an open thing. I don't know. I just never heard of that situation. But because you're right, uh,
I
is
don't.
it,
Yeah.
2023? I never heard of that dynamic.
I mean, if the guy
So that means his boyfriend is not only bisexual. His boyfriend, they're in a poly. What was that called? Poly relationship.
yeah,
Like,
something. But
what's
I
it called?
guess because they're not all in a relationship, it's just like an open relationship, which I think is weird.
What's a love triangle? I guess.
But there's no relationship between the guy and the wife.
No, but they're not enemies. Like they
So
know.
it's like I don't know. It's just an open relationship. I don't know.
It's not open though because they're not. It's just them three. I was just confused.
I don't know. But well, maybe the wife is seeing somebody.
Oh, you're right on that. You're right on that. It's probably not. It, the kid's probably not the husband's kid. Like it's probably.
I think
It just. I just want to know like who's buying the cigars. Like at that point, like is it you guys? Are you like sharing cigars? Like, I mean, they're sharing cigars, but whatever.
I think I think the best case scenario would be probably the husband was in the closet
Uh,
and then they got married and then they were
yeah,
having a good marriage, but then
yeah,
he came in the closet and then they just
yeah,
are staying together legally and they work together well as a team, but are finding love elsewhere. I guess that's the most acceptable version of that.
yeah. Yeah, it was just the most traditional, non-traditional thing I've heard. That's because the way he says, like, "Oh, my partner's had a kid, so it's been really stressful. He's been busy," and I'm like, because I'm thinking, like, okay, if his partner had a kid, they can't make one. So then but it's like, no, he's married, and so I'm like, oh, I mean, whatever. I mean, I guess with adults, as long as everyone has a honest understanding, then between them, there's no wrongdoing because it's not like anyone's cheating on each other. You know what I'm saying? Though
Yeah. I
it's
think
it's
if if
once you start going behind people's backs or
sure,
lying, that's where betrayal could be. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know. But do you really need to I think if you're not getting everything out of your relationship and you need to go elsewhere, maybe it's not the right relationship in the first
No,
place.
it's a Perdomo relationship. You need all three rappers. You know what I'm saying? No, you can't. The same blend. They like being with someone else, but they need to have different. They need the sun grown, the Connecticut, and the Maduro.
Can I tell you about this cigar?
Yeah, sure. Please, please.
No, I want to tell you about it because it's puzzling me. I think it's bad. I think it's not a good cigar.
It's bad.
I mean, it's okay. I give it like a 5. Like it's really not impressing me. It's kind of light on flavor. Now I got these from Cigar Bid. They came in really dry, and they said that was normal. Just rest it for a few days. So I rested it for like a week.
Cigars up, man.
What'd you say?
Cigar page. You got to go with cigar page.
Oh, Cigar Page. I got it from Cigar Page. Sorry.
And it was dry still.
And I
Oh, what?
they said it was fine. So I said okay.
So what
So
flavor?
what you say?
What flavors you getting?
So here's the thing. I'm getting like a real stinkiness. Like it's like barnyard stinky, and it's creamy. And it's really throwing me off, man.
You're getting diarrhea, creamy shit. Um, okay, so maybe the cigars. I would just, if you have more of them, leave them for a month. Maybe they're in shock.
Yeah,
No, and here's the thing too. Think about this. This is why when you get stuff in the mail, might be in shock because you're all the way on the West Coast. You from like Pennsylvania.
right.
That's a farther trip, and it might go 5 6 days in the mail. You know what I'm saying? Though.
That might be it. I mean, I did leave it for a while, a couple weeks, but I guess that was not enough.
Yeah, why don't you just shut the fuck up and listen to Richie? Okay.
I'm listening to Richie.
No, I just have to throw that in there every once in a while. People like when I get edgy. It helps out.
By the way, I'm minding my own business. If you were
Yeah.
wondering in
No, see,
advance.
I knew that you could handle that like a man. So that's why I do it, though. I think you coming on my show has toughened you up a lot over the past 2 years. Because maybe in the beginning, you're like, well, Richie, wait. You slipped it, you took it out of puff. You're like, okay. You're like, I think you're almost ready for Brooklyn. You go to Brooklyn, like, who the fuck is this guy? You're like, same fucking guy you just asked 2 seconds ago. You know what I'm saying? Oh, shit, this fucking yeah. They would start calling you PG, same guy.
Yeah.
Same fucking. You're right. 2 seconds ago, it's the same guy, and now it's the same fucking guy. He's the same guy 2 seconds ago. Everywhere you go, they're like, "This is 2 seconds ago." What do you mean? Because 2 seconds ago he was here, and he's still fucking here. Holy shit, Tony, get this fucking guy a drink. I like this fucking guy. Like, and then you sit down, and you're like, "So Rich?" You say, "Tremendous balls."
You must have seen him. Biggest
I,
skull.
feel
Biggest
like
skull you
I feel like you're 10% Italian after being on the show for 10 years. I mean, 2 years.
appreciate that. That's an honor, man.
He said PG went through the Maduro process.
Yeah, that's true.
Only under pressure do things get tougher or tested. We'll see. Fuente said, PG, stop. I don't know. Hold on a second. I'm going to put him in the fucking dome for that. I don't like the way he's talking to you. Get the fuck out of here. Now, Josh is back. Josh survived 24 hours.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back. Now, listen, Sammy Lee, I meant no offense. I'm not saying, Sammy Lee, if you really are a woman, maybe you're on a man's account and you just change the name. That can happen too. So if you really are a woman, God bless. But I just had to ask only because it's saying there's no woman watching the show, and PG and Gio was hitting on you. So that's all I'm saying, though. Hey, look, and if I can't bring up some statistical facts that YouTube's showing me, well then, whose show is this? You know what I'm saying? I can't be afraid of the customers. You know what I'm saying? No.
Sure. I think we can't trust everything YouTube tells you though either. They scramble the comments. The algorithm seems to buck the show. You get community, guideline stuff for stuff that you shouldn't. So YouTube has its own set of problems as well. We have to keep that in mind as well.
Yeah, thanks for letting me know, motherfucker. The cigar calmed down. It's only medium full. Medium full is still strong, but I can't believe it started off stronger and then got quieter. Isn't that weird?
Now, was it strength wise that it started up, or just flavor?
Everything. The strength and flavor was tremendous in the beginning. Tremendous balls. I was actually scared to smoke this thing after that first puff. But now it's a medium full. It's still a strong Nicaraguan cigar. Um, but the finish has calmed down. The strength has calmed down. So very strange trends. I never would expect a transition like that. You know what I'm saying, though?
Yeah. Well, I've heard that some blenders will front load some strength stuff, just in the beginning, just to like wake people up and get them interested. So they're not like, oh, it's boring.
Oh, so you mean like a honeymoon phase when people get married and then they don't have sex after 2 months?
Yeah. I think it's more like you start the relationship and they act like a totally different person. And then
Like
after a while you
you come
realize,
home and the wife's like, "Where have you been?" You're like, "And where's your fucking Lajero, bitch? You haven't blew me in 3 months." You know what I'm saying?
where's the
You
fucking
lost your Lajero. You
where's the
front loaded your Lajero. And it, she's like, "Okay, I did." He's like, "You're a fucking trap. You trapped me."
Yeah. This is yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That's exactly what it's like. So I think people do that. And
And that's the gift of Richie. Like I make deductive calculations or analogies so quick, and they're probably 80% on. And I think people enjoy that. You know what I'm saying, though? Because other channels you watch it is so fucking boring. And
so
I interact with each person like on their level. I mean, um, you know what I'm saying? No, I'm the same person at the same time. The interactions. You get what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah.
It's a fun show, man. I just showed maybe a better interviewer. You know what I'm saying? Though, well, I was never afraid to talk to anyone, but now we're talking on the live, and then we're throwing in the comments. So it's like a real blend. You know what I'm saying? Though, like picture. So it's not like when you're watching TV, the person interviewing someone listens to the people at home. Like, what's that? Oh, Bob the plumber just said, "Go fuck yourself." Like that's like,
I think you were always a very good interviewer, and I noticed that. I think it was with the Gurkha guy. You have an old video where you're interviewing a guy from Gurkha. It's an excellent interview, but I do think you've gotten more relaxed about it because you do it so often. I think it's become
well,
really.
in that interview too, I knew I was pressed for
Mm-hmm.
time limit, but like, you know, saying it was a cigar event at a small shop, and like, you know, he was already a few drinks in. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking shit about him. I'm just saying he was at, you know, that's a tough job being on the road all the time. You know what I'm saying though? And he's just there representing his brand, doing what he's got to do. And so it was very gracious for him to give me the. Because who am I? I just, you know, it just, you know, it was a great guy. Know? And back then too, that was crazy Richie hair. Like that was a mafia Richie. That was like Vietnam veteran looking Richie. You know what I'm saying? Like just
You had like the Hawaiian shirt and a big wooden cross.
yeah, but then like the hair's crazy and like the veteran hat. Like it just looked like when I watched movies from the '80s. And like you know like just reminds me of my uncles, like you know what I'm saying, like men from the '80s, and they're just like they don't trust the government, and they're like, you don't know the nom, you know what I'm saying though, and they're like, shut your fucking mouth, you know what I'm saying. When I was 18 years old, I was in a rice paddy, motherfucker. I just respected those guys because like they just were such hardcore motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying though. They all loved America, but they didn't trust the government, which I guess is a good place to be. So that's exactly how America happened. America's like, we like this place, we got a lot of good corn, nice whiskey. I don't like the British though. I don't like taxes. And like, yeah, yeah, all right. Like he's like all the guys in the Boston Tea Party, like they're about to throw shit off overboard, you know, which I don't think they threw it overboard. I think they threw empty crates overboard because they would take. I would. Why not? I get you mad about taxes. They stole the tea. I mean, you would steal a tea. You're like, oh yeah, tax tea, and then maybe like they cut in the British guy in the boat, like we're gonna cut you in 10%. You say we did it, we threw it overboard. You're happy, I'm happy. Bada bing, bada boom. You like my sister anyways? She's not much of a looker. You marry her, we'll make a deal, whatever that. You know, maybe whatever the fuck. You know what I'm saying? I guess if the Italians did the Boston Tea Party, that's what I would do.
I think that'd be a good show, like mafia history, and it's like going back through all these historical events, how it really happened.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying though?
Yeah,
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Mafia history. Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, yeah, dude. I mean, Mafia history writes itself. I mean, the guy you saw the guy that allegedly killed Kennedy. Like they brought him out in front of the police department, and the
mm,
guy at a strip club who was mob connected in Texas shot him in the stomach with a 38. You know, the one guy that could have gave evidence if he really did it to tell everyone
right.
who hired him, or to tell everyone how he's a fall guy. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about. He's like, I got invited to go here. They told me to come here. I don't know. I got an invitation. This girl said she's gonna give me a blowjob. And meanwhile, he got set up. And it doesn't matter. They bring him out of the police station. There's a Italian guy. He's like, you know, he's, oh, just like, and like, and then he got killed too. So like, it was like, you know,
Everything nice and tidy.
yeah, like, yeah, everything's better with Italian mobs. You know what I'm saying though? Like if you just picture over like 1945, the flight over Japan. Oh, Maron, this nuclear bomb. Forget about it. I'm telling you, this shit is spicier than a man I got. It's shit. Holy shit. You know what I'm saying? No, I know it's rough right now, but trust me. Trust me. 50 years from now, my kids are going to play Super Mario Brothers Maron. They're going to love this shit. All right. Oh,
That's crazy,
yeah. Oh, really?
crazy, dude. The mafia discussing
Hey,
if
drop
stupid
the
or
boy. It'd be what the bomb was called the Fat Boy. I think the second one was. Meanwhile, like and it's like Fat Vito, and he's like trying to get to the lever. He's like so fat. Come on, Fat Boy. He's like,
yeah, that's great. Um,
yeah, I'm trying to think what else. What else? Yeah, yeah,
how about Roman history, but it's mafia.
yeah. The Romans were mafia, I guess. You know, I guess. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
I guess late Rome, actually, yeah. So that doesn't really help.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's what it is. I mean, in a way, the Romans were the mafia because wherever they went, they didn't ruin whatever culture was there. They just wanted a piece of the action. Like same thing when the Romans had Israel. They're like with the Jews, they're like you can still have your your what do you call it, your rabbis and your temple. We just want a piece of the action. You know what I'm saying? No, we're not going to get involved in your person. Now, of course, you could say, oh, but we're getting taxed by the Romans. Guess what, though? Now, if anybody invades your area, the Romans will protect you because you're under their protection. Because this
Right.
is, it's almost like Aflac. It's like insurance. Like, you know,
Yeah.
what I'm saying? It's like, oh, no, these people are invading our area. It's like, but the Romans are like, it's okay. You got Aflac. Got it. I got it. Because we need you to stay alive so we can tax you. All right? I got this. I got
Yeah.
this. The Roman legion's like, I got it. I got it. You know, what I'm trying to say is maybe they were the best of the bad guys. You know what I'm saying, though? Because their empire did flourish. They built the roads. They built the aqueducts. You know what I'm saying, though?
But
State
I don't
was
think the Romans were all bad at all. I think the Romans
well,
were
that's
important.
such a childish word, bad.
Yeah.
Because, bro, let's just say if you took away all empires or all governments, would there still be violence? Though people would still be killing each other. You'd just be real. Instead of going to war, like though people have been killing each other for nothing. So at least governments or empires, they give you a uniform. Maybe they give you some gold or whatever, or some land. I don't know. I'm not. What I'm saying is, it's all bad. There's some good in between. No one's innocent. No one's innocent. That's all I'm saying, though. You know what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
the did so many important things. I don't think it's. I don't know. I wouldn't characterize them as bad personally. You know.
What I'm trying is, if you zoom out for the greater good, they modernized the world for its time and connected it. You know what I'm saying, though, and spread trade and business and art. But they just kind of, in a way, carried on what the Greeks did before that.
Right.
But they were more militaristic than the Greeks. You know what I'm saying? No, they made it. They went even. They had better food than the Greeks. That's the bottom line. Like if you were sitting there and they're like, all right, you want the Greeks to take over your area or the Romans? You're like, well, what do you got? And the Greeks are like, well, I, we have good philosophy, okay. And the Romans are like, rigatoni, motherfucker. And I think they
The
got
Greek
Zeppelin.
the Greeks were more culturally based. Now I'm not an expert, but I think the Romans were more industrious and sort of popularized it. Right. They took a lot from the Greeks and popularized it.
And just talking, but amazing, like Socrates. They were amazing at debate, and
Yeah.
the Romans took that, but the Romans also had more.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, though?
If you look at Roman sculpture, which is tremendous, I see it as a more streamlined version of Greek sculpture, which has a little bit more art to it, but is very similar. The Roman sculpture is a little bit more stately and smoothed out edges. My feeling, my experience.
Interesting. I think Sacco left too. I think Genghis Khan caused the deaths of 40 million people. Yeah, but also Genghis Khan had like 40 million kids. So he in the play, dude. Genghis Khan. Do you, dude? I'll be dead serious. Look up how many children Genghis Khan had. He changed. They said there's still a high. There's still a small percentage, but it's a lot percentage of people in Asia that are still related to Genghis Khan. That's how many kids he had. Dude, this guy had thousands of kids. Dude, he was lining up people every night. He Genghis Khan impregnated more people in the history of the world than anyone else. That's a fact. You can look it up. That is a statistical fact. I'm not. You can say, "Oh, that's wrong." I'm not getting into wrong or right or how things happen, but you know what I'm saying, though.
Yeah, no, that's an extremely aggressive strategy to cause mass death and then replace those people with your own offspring. Uh,
Um,
Intense.
it's the same corporate strategy. I just got an advertisement from Verizon to switch over my phone. They'll give me a new phone because they want my contract. You know what I'm saying, though? So it's the same thing Genghis Khan did. He's like, get rid of Sprint. Come over to Verizon. You're like, what are you gonna give me? Listen, I'm telling you right now, unlimited data. Fuck. How much?
Richie, I want to ask you about that cigar because you said the Lajero was front loaded. Does that make it disappointing to you, or are you enjoying it? How do you feel about it?
It's disappointing to me. At the same time, I'm glad because the way it started off, dude, that was gonna scare the fuck out of me. Right now, it's a nice medium full, 70% darkness. Finish is like medium, length's like medium. It's really not a complex cigar though. It's rather dark blend, dark black pepper, dark earth, no sweetness. Um, so it's kind of a basic cigar though, but in a way, because the way it happened, I don't know if 3 years did anything to this. It's still strong, but I don't know. I don't. I really don't have an answer, man, because I'm so perplexed by that front loading.
Yeah. It's funny. It reminds me a little bit of the one I smoked the other day. The last live that I was on, the Jericho Hill, is also Crown Heads. And at first I was blown away by it. And then it settled into basically exactly what you're talking about, earth, black pepper, little
So
chocolate.
what if they're on the concept of like what's his name, the Italian director, Casino, Goodfellas, Martin Scorsese,
Okay.
showing the end at the beginning. What if they like to put the last third up front and
Yeah.
then get to know the cigar? You know what I'm saying? No. So that way in your mind, all you remember is, oh, that's a strong cigar.
Hmm.
I'm not saying it's the right thing, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's possible. It's possible also, you get a lot of character, you got a lot of interest, but then it's not going to blow you away with strength for a while. And then maybe it'll ramp up back again toward the end. I don't know. We'll see.
A little bit of sourdough coming in, which is
That's nice.
well flavor with the so earth sourdough and black pepper. The blend, honestly, I'd probably give it a 4.2.
Hmm.
Construction and draw is very good, but it's not like a blend that I'd be like, oh, you got to try this. Like it feels kind of like a lazy strong Nicaraguan blend, like strong stout cigar, but
I hate to say, I haven't really been blown away with any of the Crown Heads. Um, yeah, I like the Mil Diaz, but
and I wasn't crazy about the Mildias. It was okay.
yeah.
I think the only Crown Heads that blew me away
Hmm.
is the Crystal, and that is Crown Heads with Monte Cristo tobacco. I
Right,
talked on the phone about that.
right.
Said he was invited to Monte Cristo, to Altadas, and to the factory, and they said choose any tobacco you want, and we'll make a cigar with you. They just wanted to. I think that was before AJ Fernandez. They just wanted to, I guess, cause some buzz with their brand. Kind of like the same thing with that Dogma cigar the other day. With we're making a cigar with
Cigar Dojo.
Bardoja or whatever. Sort of. The point is, so and believe it or not, the cigar Dojo cigar with Davidoff was fucking amazing. You were a baby. That was like 10 years ago. There was a cigar Dojo Davidoff. That was one of the best Davidoffs I ever had. Back then it was like $20, 8 years ago.
That
Phenomenal.
that's
Ph-
very cool.
Phenomenal cigar. The cigar Dojo Davidoff, limited edition. I had it like once or twice and we never saw it again. Never. Um, so long story short about that, Monte Cristo told him, pick whatever you want, make a cigar. And he said he said he was a kid in a candy shop. He said he picked the best, strongest, and also most aged tobacco he could,
Nice.
and there you have that cigar. Now that was the original idea. That was a limited run, but I heard they're making them again, so I don't know if it's the same shit.
I've been seeing them around. Yeah, I'd be curious. Um,
Well, how could they keep the same blend if it was such a exotic? That was a $15 cigar like 8 years ago, 7 years ago. That was what happened. Everyone left, dude. I feel like the vibe. Where'd everyone go? We start talking about the Roman Empire, and everyone left. What the? I don't give a shit, man. People are not reliable. You know what I'm saying, though. People come, people go. I think everyone was just enjoying Sammy Lee so much, and now, like, she didn't even say it, she just left. Like, okay, so if I was wrong, or if the information I was provided by YouTube was wrong, let me know. So I think everyone's mad. Like Richie, we had one girl here, even if it wasn't a real girl. You're an asshole. Like,
I gotta say, this cigar is not very good. I'm really like, after smoking these incredible aged cigars from Dream Life, I'm shocked because this is an Aladino. It's made by JRE, and I think
wait,
they
that,
use.
wait, that one he sent you? He sent you that one?
No, no, no. I'm saying after smoking the DL cigars, this is so not good.
Oh, interesting. Well, but that's not just because it's not age. Just maybe it's just a cigar you don't like. So you can't. You got to
Yeah.
factor.
Well,
And
I just
that was
mean with
cool.
such good.
Us all getting stuff from him with the same. With so if we are smoking the same cigar, has the same amount of time on it, and having the dual experience. So we do have to do the CAO.
Yeah.
Who knows? Hey, maybe tomorrow. What are you doing tomorrow?
I guess smoking the CAO.
Okay, check it out. I'll bring the fucking CAO. She's having surgery tomorrow. I'm probably gonna be in the fucking parking lot. You know what I'm saying? No. Well, I'll try to find if it's not that cold, or I'll do it in my car. Yeah, that's what, if that's the case. And so
Well, won't you be driving her home from surgery in that car?
it doesn't matter. The
Okay.
car. Don't watch your mind your fucking business.
I'm just trying to be considerate.
Down from surgery, she's not gonna smell. I'll spray some fucking Febreze. Okay, you know what I'm saying? No, why don't you mind your fucking business? Don't you tell me what to do with my wife? All right.
My
I
fault,
think
Rick.
the love for my wife and the care I have for her is stronger than the smell of a CEO street. But it's probably gonna be strong.
It'll be a strong smell, yeah. Yeah.
Because it's a nice gesture, but don't you ever have a nice gesture about my wife again, mother. And that's the Italian in me. It's one thing if it's not my wife, but if it's my wife, it's none of your fucking business. You know what I'm saying? No, unless like if someone's hurting their wife, like you know what I'm saying. But if someone just have like an argument, or a disagreement, you never say anything about another man's wife. It's almost like, let me tell you something I learned from Italians. If a man is having a disagreement or argument with his girlfriend or wife, or if she like belittles him in front of you, that's when your mind you go, oh, commercial break. You just look at the wall. You might because that eventually will end. But if you butt in the middle of that, that guy will take it out on you because he's not going to take it out on his wife. So now he's like, you know what I'm saying? No, like all of a sudden the girl, if he's like, yeah, we had some good sex last night, and the wife's like, good sex, and then if you start laughing, like he's gonna look at you and like always, and now like, do you know what I'm saying though? Like, am I teaching you something about being street?
I'm gonna bring a tin of cigarillos. I can go smoke something.
Dude, as tough as Mike Tyson is, there's certain times he put his hands up. You can't always be on the offense. Certain points, let me get out of the way. Let me get out of the way.
Um, yeah. Okay. Sounds good. Well, I have it ready. It's cut. It's been dry boxing, so it shouldn't be too moist. Just let me know.
Gio, shut the fuck up. He says Sammy and I are official. Shut the fuck up. Gio, shut the fuck up. You're lucky to be here. You're saying you're going out with Sammy. Stop it. Stop it. This, I bet Sammy is Gio on two different alt accounts. You know what I'm saying though?
Probably. I guess that's why they're official. It's the same. It's the same guy. That's one person. He's made it official.
I can't stand this place. And Chewy said he didn't like his cigar. So whatever.
The bad cigar night. Chewy, what did you smoke?
I don't know. Some said Genghis Khan fucked 40,000 women.
Yeah, Sacco said Fuente fanboy is Gio. Question mark. Sure, Sacco.
Well, see, I didn't delete. It says right there. I don't know. Really. Good to know. It is what it is.
I'm, I'm blown away by how mediocre the cigar is, and it's Aladino tobacco. I mean, it's like,
Okay, stop. Just because
right,
you like and you got to zoom out. You can't expect every cigar you to love. Whether it's good or not. I'm just saying, past experience means nothing about the present experience. You know what I'm saying, though? You get it? So you can't give any brand absolute trust. That's a very difficult thing.
yeah,
Especially with a new brand like Aladino. I mean, so they have some great cigars, and I do like what they do, especially their price points. And the Aladino Cameroon, that Honduran Cameroon, is a banger, you know. And they release them in small sizes, which is smart. If it was up to me in Cameroons, I would never go above 50. I would
yeah,
do 847 Cameroon Robustos, like
yeah,
a 47. Like, yeah,
for,
it's Robusto light, and just because I think that's what makes Cameroon pop. You know what I'm saying, though?
for sure.
I didn't hide Sammy at all. Shut the fuck up. All I did was ask. All I did was ask.
Well, we should look back through the comments. Maybe he or she or they said some information that we missed.
Well,
Good
he's
seeing what's going on.
not call anyone a liar. So, because maybe the algorithm is lying to me. But Sammy said she was 37, and I showed you all my demographics was like 21 to like, let's say like 32, and then it showed 33 to 37 or 34, 37, whatever. None. Like there was none. So nobody's 37 here. That's what the algorithm said. Now maybe I'm wrong. So I wasn't accusing anyone. I just brought up what the algorithm. So in a way too, Richie's always testing, meaning so maybe if she's telling the truth, the algorithm is wrong, and that's all I'm saying, though. You know, so who knows too? What the fuck? You know? Yeah, nobody cares, Chew. You're right. The comments say hidden. I didn't hide her comments, so I don't know what's going on. I don't know.
I think I miss the name Richie's Out of Order Cigars because it was both you're out of order and also everything is just it's out of order. Like in a bathroom stall, it's out of order.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. No, that wouldn't make sense either. I don't know. I don't have a fucking answer, and I don't need to know. It's my channel. Okay, so if I did I accuse anyone? No, I simply said I'm bringing up the analytical facts. Only because it was a little strange. The moment she's come around, the comments start getting crazy. You can't read the comments. Then also, I get it, you're in England, but every time I'm on, whatever time the live, she's available. I thought that was kind of strange. How is she up at 3, 4 in the morning? Also, I'm doing 11 o'clock live yesterday. So now it's 7 o'clock at night. Always available? Do you not sleep? How do you not sleep? So unless it's like a robot chat, you know what I'm saying though? Or it's like a troll that doesn't sleep and just drinks Red Bull and it's a dude who just like likes playing sick games like that, pretending to be a woman, and lying to the guys and like, yeah, I don't know. So Gio said he called her. Maybe Gio's information is being sold to the what do you call that? The dark web right now.
His entire inventory of his cigar collection is being listed.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Great construction though. I'm gonna drop the ash though. I mean, dude, solid construction. The construction's better than the blend. And I'm not saying they're using bad tobacco. I'm saying I think with some of these crown heads, I think I'm just not a fan of their blending style. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, it's too bad. I just don't understand. I did have a. Have you ever had the four kicks?
Years ago.
The red band four kicks. I thought that was also pretty decent. But I don't know. I feel like he's got like a very bright blending style. It's very clear, but it's kind of like it's missing something.
Well, it's just not for me. That's all. So I'm not gonna say it's a bad cigar at all, but it's not impressive. It's a 4.2, so it's smokable. It can be enjoyed. I'm just saying I smoke thousands of different cigars, and this is not a great cigar. That's all. So it's going to fall under just a good cigar, and that's it. So I mean, there's nothing wrong with a good cigar. So I mean, that's like the least you want to get to that category. You know what I'm saying though?
You know,
And
I haven't really smoked a really bad crown heads either. They all
no,
kind
none
of.
of them are gone. I'm just saying it wasn't great.
Yeah,
And that's like a brand like Cohiba being very selective and like it's not like where they're constantly always only recently released some more blends, but overall, like before the Riviera, before the Miami, like I remember when the Royale came out, I'm like, wow, it was a big deal, a new Cohiba blend, you know? And then the Miami came out, I was like, wow, shit. And then the purple came out, like, wow, shit. It's like, are we gonna see a new Cohiba every year? Like, I don't know. But they're getting aggressive on expanding the line. But remember too, they can only expand so fast because the lounges can only carry so many cigars.
sure.
You know what I'm saying though? And I told you what happened. The guy said he gave back his Cohiba guy. He told him take back the Royales because in his shop they weren't selling. And he goes, I'll put the Rivieras to test it out to see if it sells. And the Riviera sold. So, but that's just at that shop. That's a one shop factor. It is true, but it's, you know, so I think the Riviera overall is a better cigar than Royale, but the Royale is the strongest Cohiba. But generally speaking, people that smoke Cohiba don't want a stronger than Padron cigar. So that's, you know,
How many main blends do you think a company can have? Like, is it 5 blends that people will keep in mind and smoke, or do you think they'll smoke as many as they can produce and are good?
that's difficult to say. It's like the larger you go, the more you support. But yeah, but I think it'll be simple if you could have more blends if each of your blends only come in one size. But the problem is most American cigar markets come in the three grades: Robusto, Toro, and Gordo. It is what it is. So in reality, one cigar is always three minimum. But then you look at like Fuente, like the Hemingways, like what, nine sizes? Like holy shit!
Right.
And then wrappers: Sun Grown, Cameroon, and Maduro. But what's interesting about that, those are the blend is still good in all three wrappers though, and also the Sun Grown and the Maduro are both very hard to find.
Yeah.
Unlike Perdomo's like very easy to find. I'll be honest though, I've been doing research about the Perdomo 30th anniversary. I can't find it anywhere for sale. It's not out yet. So have you seen the 30th? I do want to smoke it.
I haven't even heard of that actually.
It's coming out
Mm.
now, and it's certified minimum, and some older, but the minimum to age tobacco on it is 15 years.
Wow.
I'll give it a chance. It's 15-year age tobacco, and I'll give it a chance. And I think it's only going to be $12 to $14. So I will give the 30th a chance. And I'd like to smoke, especially in the sun grown, because I don't think Perdomo does Maduros that well. Because generally the Maduros are not like strong, so it's kind of like I think Perdomo's best cigars are in their sun grown. So I'll give a Perdomo 30th sun grown a chance, and we'll see what happens. I mean, they're very consistent and they're very reliable construction. I just hope it's a good blend. And he says he's already now started working on the 40th for 10 years from now. So what's weird is his 30th came out in 22, but I think things got delayed because of the whole pandemic and things shut down and
Mhm.
releases a year, which might have given the cigars an extra year of aging, maybe even better. I don't know.
Yeah. Hopefully it won't be like the age Perdomo you had. Hopefully it'll have a little more to it.
Yeah. Well, I know. Yeah. It's like a mild cigar. You know what I'm saying, though? Yeah, well, I'll give it a shot. I'm not a Perdomo hater like blindly, so I'll give it a shot.
I'd be very interested in that one. I hope that's good.
Drop the ash. Well, the ash wants
I'm gonna rest these for another few months before I smoke another one of these. So
right there. Got very leathery and nutty though.
that's not
So
bad.
yeah, so it's getting me some complexity. It's a 4.2 though.
Yeah.
Everyone left the chat. I think this was a sad chat for everyone, and it is what
Yeah.
it is.
I think just chatting at this point, Richie.
It's just me and you hanging out, and that's fine.
Yeah.
You know, I have no problem just talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Though, so. And what if like five of the people here was all just Geo and we blew up? How do they figure it out? They figure it out.
He was sick of being excluded.
Whereas here's the thing why I know it's Geo. Geo was pretending to be someone from South Carolina, North Carolina that was likes to go fishing. And I don't even think it was someone from his own race. Like Gio has no problem pretending to be someone else. And then now he went for the gusto, and Gio pretended to be a woman from Ireland.
And
So
an older, not older, but older than him.
he, he's
And
like a he's like a where's Waldo or what's that? Or he's like
where's Geo?
yeah, where's Gio?
Who's Geo?
He's an international spy. You know what I'm saying? Though? So yeah, God bless. And the lounge is dead. Chewy's not even here. Chewy's smoking a shit cigar. Nobody gives a shit. Caleb's here, I think. I can't read Caleb's comments. So 4.2, I'm going to drop the ash. Here we go. It's not a bad cigar, not a great cigar. Let's drop this. That ash wants to stay on, man. I'm going to drop it.
You're in the basically coming up on the final third now.
That ash came off so easy. Yeah,
Yeah.
I said. Um,
I'm curious if it'll pick up and you're gonna ramp back up into that.
I
You
don't
know.
think so. No,
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to do that. Here's the thing. So with 3 years time on it, it didn't lose all its balls. Although it just was weird how exciting it started. Like, you saw how strong it started. Like, that thing was scary. So that kind of hurt the cigar, starting off that strong and then dropping down. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? I don't understand that. It's I don't understand.
And you dry box it, right?
Why don't you mind your fucking business?
I was just asking.
Colorado is a fucking dry box.
Well,
All
I
I
well,
got. Why
what
don't
I
you
know.
fuck up? All the cigars I got, I let them sit out for 3 days
Okay.
on my humidor. My
Okay.
humidor 1%. It's low. So dude, and then I take them out. Just being out of the humidor in no cellophane for 4 hours here at like 8% humidity. I mean, dude,
Right.
cigars dry themselves. You know what I'm saying? Though. I
What
mean,
I
see the kind of ash I'm getting.
Yeah. I noticed that I think I didn't dry box the Jericho Hill long enough, and as a result, I think it had that transition. But it's possible that's just in the blend. It's probably. I mean, in your case, I think it is probably just the blend.
Are you realizing the pattern of actually smoking a cigar and paying attention when you're here is different than just puffing? Because you every second counts here, and so when you do have transitions or paying attention to the flavors or paying attention to the strength, the
Yeah.
finish, all of it combined, and then the value, construction, draw. When you're here, it's like all these things. It's like a game. It's like a match. Like
Yeah.
a not a
Yeah.
competition. What's the word looking for? Like in how do I
It's
say?
it's like an event. It's a,
It's an whereas if you're just sitting in your chair and you're on your phone, I'm
right.
telling you, your mind can't pay attention to both. If you're looking at whatever Pornhub, which I don't know, that's weird. It's watching Pornhub while smoking cigars. Just
Yeah. I'm not watching. I'm watching a blowjob while
like,
smoking a cigar,
like,
man.
just like yeah, like you're just like puffing, like you just like chain puffing, like yeah, yeah. Which I've never done that. That would be really strange. I've
Um,
never shot him a Gamora while smoking a
that would
cigar.
be very 451, dude. That would be extremely 451.
Yeah, I couldn't do that. You know what I'm saying though? Yeah. Like if you went to a cigar lounge, all the guys were watching Saga Gamora on the TV, and they're all just puffing. I would leave. I'd be like, we gotta get out of here.
Can you
Like,
imagine lazy chairs? Fucking everybody's
yeah, everyone,
pushed into their chairs. There's just fucking big screen.
everyone's bitching a tent. Everyone's Chewy's Chewy's laughing. Chewy, shut the fuck up. Gio's gone.
Yeah, no. Whenever I smoke a cigar, I try to smoke it very critically. Like I usually just sit there with the cigar and try to focus on it. But it's interesting, getting to chat about it also kind of engages you even more. At least for me,
Well,
my
also, dude, I I make everyone a better cigar smoker, and I don't mean that vanity. Like I'm hard on myself.
right.
I ask people questions, and then even the statements I made before, right now, I'll reverse it and ask other questions. Like I test my own theories.
Hmm.
Richie doesn't lie. You know what I'm saying, though? But I don't just blindly believe myself either. Like I validate what I'm talking about.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and just like the benefits of salt for heat, the benefits of making if the band moves, it's going to be a better experience than if it doesn't move. I can't stress it enough. You know, um, and holding the smoke, um, and also second cigar. Like now I had a cigar today, but I had it at 1 o'clock, so that doesn't count now at midnight. You know what I'm saying though? At that point, like I already ate and I drank plenty of water. So, but
Sure.
if you cigar an hour before this, it's going to affect that cigar big time.
I think I'm starting to see some of the characteristics of this cigar where it's starting to meld together, and the stinkiness and the creaminess is actually working a little bit. It's a very strange blend, though.
So it doesn't remind you of anything.
Nothing. Doesn't remind me of a single cigar.
It doesn't make you happy. It's a strange cigar. Sometimes you can have a fluke too. Sometimes you hope the company's not consistent. You're like, maybe I got a bad one.
Yeah.
You know?
It reminds it reminds me a little bit between like an Aladino and a Five Vegas, dude, which is just about the worst thing I can say.
I don't like Five Vegas at all.
I tried smoking a Five Vegas. I got a 5 pack for $1 on Cbid. I was like, I'll try it. Just let's see how bad it could be. I couldn't even smoke an inch. I got it half an inch and I had to chuck it. It was
Was
terrible. What you say?
it Connecticut?
No, just the regular Five Vegas. This is Sumatra. The construction was excellent. It burned amazingly, but it tasted like dirty water and cream. It was disgusting and perfect.
Vegas is shit cigars.
Terrible.
Like you're right. So I'd rather have a cigar that looked like shit that tasted better. The construction and I've had them before. I've had the Connecticut, and like I was at my uncle's house, and he's like, "Oh, have a cigar." And like it was between like a Five Vegas, these Cigar International. We buy like 10 packs, like samplers, and so of course like the Cohiba was already gone, the Romeo 1875 was gone, and it was down to like a Five Vegas or like the cheapest AJ Fernandez you never heard of, like
Yeah.
like a really like Horencia,
Yeah.
which like a really you're like, oh god, like
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
like internet only vintage shit, cigars for Cigar International.
Yeah.
Which I don't support. I don't buy anything from Cigar International. Like Cigar Page has been my go-to. I'm really impressed with Cigar Page, especially with the Leva. Dude, you could get a Leva and Patels. You can get Leva and Patels really cheap. And that, dude, I'll tell you what. I I went through almost that whole 10 pack of the Rothschild Patel Natural, um, and it's just turning out every time I have it better and better of a creamy, spicy, nutty, heavy finish from the first puff. In that size, it's like it's in the last third right away. And I would really enjoy smoking them while driving on the way to work, and get a good 45 minutes way to work. And for I think I paid $3, $30 for 10 pack shipped. It's a solid stick, like you know what I'm saying though. Like, but the best so far was that Patel in that category, the
Oh, the sun grown Maduro.
so I'm going with dude. I gotta have that again, dude. That cigar wrecked me. I couldn't believe how strong it was.
Give me just 1 sec. I'll be right back. I gotta put a jacket on.
Leave Pee Wee Herman alone, all right? You should leave Pee Wee Herman alone. What did Pee Wee Herman do to you? Eh, eh. This is what it is. A wise old man once told me, I'm going to wait for him to come back. I'm going to tell you the story about the jelly bean theory. Maybe I've already told this story about jelly beans, but it's a true story. It's a true story. PG, where'd you go? PG left. PG, what are you doing? PG had to go take a shit. PG. PG's gone. You won't see that guy no more. That's it. PG's gone. Hey, you there?
Hey, thanks for your patience.
So there's a jelly bean theory. This old man told me a story. He said, let me tell you something. He said, let me tell you what happens when you get married. He goes, when you date a pretty girl and you're young and you have a lot of sex, he goes, every time she gives you a blowjob, I want you to put a jelly bean in a jar.
Oh yeah.
Then when you get married, every time she gives you a blowjob, I want you to eat a jelly bean. He goes, 10 years from now, you're going to come back to me with a jar full of fucking jelly beans, kid. Isn't that a funny story?
Yeah, that is funny. You've told me that before. That's a good one.
And it's a good morality tale of people taking advantage of you. Meaning, once they get what they want on both sides, the guy thinks, oh, for me to have sex forever, all I got to do is get married to a woman and then we can always have sex. That's
Yeah.
not what happens. You know what I'm saying, though?
Funny how that works. I mean, if you
Well,
think about
what it is once people get to the top, meaning marriage is the top you think you could do in a relationship, right?
right.
It becomes a trophy, and that's it. And then they don't take the trophy off the shelf or try to get a new trophy. You know what I'm saying? Okay, now you got married. Okay, so what's next? Well, why don't you try to be a happy married couple? Oh, nobody tries that. They just, you know what I'm saying, though? It's like that's it, and so then it just becomes like a garage sale. You throw in the garage, and you're like, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Though it becomes like a glory days of the past. I think human nature needs something to look forward to. So once you get married, that's it. It's like, well, what's next? Oh, that's it. You get what I'm saying, though?
Yeah. It's funny that people, I don't know. I wonder if people have sex or get more sex, because that doesn't seem, like you said, it doesn't really work that way.
No, 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 dude. Most married guys I know, they're not having sex.
It's almost like you get married when you're good not having sex anymore. You resign, you know what I mean? You resign from it.
I think it also comes down to you end up living with someone, you end up resenting them. And there was a comedian that said, you know, I think men get tired of stuffing their semi-hard cock into the same hole. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, like so. I think the men get tired. The woman maybe gets complacent. Maybe after a kid or two, maybe she doesn't look the same. And then also, I just think the thrill is gone. You know what I'm saying? Though on both sides, I'm not blaming just women. Like maybe the guy got married and he just became a fat bastard. And he's just drinking beer, watching the football game, and he's not even romantic with her. And does you know? Because I believe, men. Okay, how do I explain this? Men want to fuck right now, but a woman will sleep with you for how you made her feel like yesterday. But they and as a man, you have to understand that. I can't stress it enough. A woman lays with you now for what you may have felt yesterday or the day before. They're more vengeful, and they're more rewarding. For like, let's say when you're mean to her, you get into an argument. Once the argument's over, you let it go. But in her mind, she's like, "I'll get you back tomorrow when you ask me to blow you." And you're like, "Man doesn't think that way." Women are very strategic with sex, with that. You know what I'm saying, though? And it is what it is.
It's funny how we have this kind of cats and dogs type system where it's like, if you're married to somebody, you're spending all your time with them. Why would you ever? It's weird to be so different yet so close. Do you know what I mean?
So let me tell you something what happens, man. Things get in the way. Bills, financial stress, the in-laws, holidays, decisions on purchases or not purchases. Most of the time with men, it's like, oh, every time I see guys that are married and like, oh, my wife says I can't have that. It's like, you what? You can't go buy something because your wife said no. Like, meanwhile, she's ringing the card up at Macy's buying clothes, and it's like, and so it's kind of like when it at the same time too, like somewhere in between is that maybe what's right to do. But I'm just saying, like, as a man, this is what happens: guys get married and then they lose their balls, and then the woman don't respect them no more. As a man, you got to keep your balls. Now they might not say they want you to do that, but women want guys with balls.
How could you respect anybody with no balls? And I don't mean that as a gendered statement. I just mean,
It's because it took balls to get the girl, right? Then once you get her, the guys generally end up losing their balls because they're like comfortable. They lost the edge, that surprise or the romance, the excitement, And so you have to. So you know, in a way, what works for me is I'll say things like I don't care, like joking around, and like almost like not being disrespectful, but being like edgy with her, and then we'll be like at a restaurant or we'll be at the supermarket and the lady I'll do it on purpose in front of like the cashier and the girl's like, I can't believe he said that, and she's like, yeah, I know, and I'm like, that's exactly why she's still with me. You know what I'm saying? I keep it exciting. You know what I'm saying? Though I'm not
yeah,
like, oh, happy life, happy wife, whatever she says. That's what people that are hostage say.
yeah.
Happy, happy kidnapper, happy kidnapped. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, fuck
You,
that.
you know what's so funny? My buddy just brought this up to me maybe yesterday or the day before. Uh, and what's funny, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but he's also Italian. That's my other good Italian buddy I hang out with these days. But he was saying exactly that. Guys go happy wife, happy life, and like, then what? They don't want it. They don't respect you. I mean, and like I said, how could you possibly
Bullshit.
respect
When I'm
someone?
on with her, every pretty girl that walks by or she's going for a jog, oh look, and I'd be like, "You see that? What a beautiful girl, huh?" And she'd be like, "I can't believe you said that." I'm like, "But you know what? I would take you in a heartbeat over her. And she'd be like, it's just shit like that. Like, cause you know what I'm saying? Cause what you're saying is you're noticing, yeah, I notice other girls, but I still choose you, baby. You know what I'm saying though? And that's that, Uh, you can't be, women respect a man with balls, and you could say that's power, whatever. I can't stress it enough. Once you become like timid, they'll walk all over you. Like, and they will walk all over you, but then they won't respect you because they walk all over you.
I
You know?
wonder. See, so what's interesting to me is you're doing something that is related to an earlier part of the relationship in order to maintain a certain part of the relationship and make it like the earlier part, which works, and that's good. I wonder if there's a way, and I'm not saying there is because I've never seen it, but I wonder if there's a way to work all the way through it where you're able to connect on a different level and then have evolved past all the earlier parts of the relationship, but still are able to maintain your own backbone and your own opinion, etc.
I don't know. There's social stigmas or what's accepted because the way it is now is not like it was 50 years ago. But at
Yeah.
the same time, I think we're in a more open. We talk about everything now. Whereas like 50 years ago, nobody even talked about sex. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? No. Like, oh, we're having another baby. Like no one talked about it. You know what I'm saying? No. But so in this case, but women don't want a man that can't get other women. I can't stress it enough.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want women don't want a man that other women don't want. I can't stress it enough. I
Sure.
just
I mean,
women
would you
women
want
women like to gouge. They want a man that can gouge. They don't want the clearance cigar international guy.
would you not want the same thing from a woman? I'm not sure. You know what I mean?
Um, no, it's different because, like I said in the past, a key that opens every door is a master key. A door that opens for everyone is a broken fucking lock. You know what I'm saying though?
Well,
So
but I mean, I'm not saying that not saying any man or any woman should aim to sleep with any amount of people. I'm not saying a quota, but I'm saying that if you're a attractive person and you could get other offers, I'm just saying, wouldn't you want to be with a woman who also could have other offers? Not that she would take them, but you see what I'm saying?
well, I get what you're saying with that, but you also got to remember too the double standards of life. Women just naturally like. How do I explain this? Women control sex, but men control relationships. Period. Period. You don't see women asking guys to marry her. You know.
Hmm.
So in reality, like woman control tonight, but a man controls forever, and that's not.
Do you think? Do you think that is necessary, or you think it's traditional, or
No,
both?
women are born with women are born with natural value because of their beauty and because of the sexuality. They're naturally born with it, so they take that for granted. But a
Hmm.
man achieve things, whatever he has. Be strong, have character, be handsome, exercise, a good job, whatever. And a woman can have a good job too, but there's a difference because when a woman generally makes money, that's her money. When a guy makes his money, like nobody. When my dad met Lauren, he wasn't like, "Oh, so how much money do you make?" But like when I met her father, it was like, "So what do you do? What do you do for work?" Because he wants to know you're going to take care of his daughter. He doesn't want his daughter to get knocked up by a bum. You know what I'm saying? Though, you understand that concept? Whereas a girl, she's just pretty. Everyone else, no one cares. Like, oh, she's pretty. She's pretty. Like she didn't earn this. She's pretty. Oh, it's a pretty girl. She has good genes. You know what I'm saying? Now, she of course she could have good hygiene and dress nice, but that's you know you get what I'm trying to say though. So it's just two different, and that's fine. I'm not like mad about it. That's just the way it works. You know what I'm saying though. So
I'm curious, and I mean no disrespect by this, and please don't answer the question if you don't want to answer. Obviously, you won't. But as a father, eventually, hopefully, your daughter will find a nice man what would you be looking for? What characteristics would you interview him about when you met him?
I don't. Okay. I keep it real simple. Like, she's not gonna date any bums. She doesn't have to marry a rich guy. If she does, God bless. But she's not, because it's not about how much the guy makes in a sense. But if the guy makes nothing, that's not even an option. Then she's never gonna date a guy that's a bum. And I'm not saying she's a teenager, 15, 16, 17. The guy's not. It's not gonna. He's not gonna have a business. I'm just saying.
Sure.
What I say is, like, if a guy has no ambition, or if a guy's a loser, doesn't want to do anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, nothing.
Hmm.
Like, I'm not going to condone that relationship.
Hmm.
Thing though, like,
Sure.
guys just sitting around doing drugs, and they're like, yeah, yeah, I'm not going to condone this until it gets my wishes. And then if
Right.
she or marries him or has kids with him, I'm not going to support that.
Right.
Be the same thing if she was but dating a guy that had money, but if he was abusive to her, I'm not going to condone that too. But then, like, I'm going to go straighten that guy out. You know, that because that I'm not worried about, because she knows better than that. But at the same time, one visit from Richie, anyone that's willing to abuse a woman is going to be scared of a scary man.
Hmm.
Because I've never abused a woman. A real man, a real man doesn't look at women and go, "I can get away with physical violence or threats."
Right.
Don't think he's a tough guy. Like, a man uses his power to protect the weaker sex. You know what I'm saying, though? So, so I'm not worried about it. Listen, if somebody was, as my daughter gets older and she dates someone, she's like, "Oh, Dad, he smacked me." You'd be like, "Oh, really?" Dude, that'd be, that'd be taking a week off from work and just taking a quick ride. That's all I'm gonna say. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it's not even. I'm not even worried about that. Like, I'm not, because she wouldn't. Because the way I raised her, and she knows her value. And also, she knows she has a powerful dad.
Right.
She wouldn't, no guy would date as she gets older would even dare to even think like that. Because guys that smack women around, are not going to do that if she has tough family, brothers, or a father that's Richie. I just can't stress it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, at the same time too. I mean, as they get older, people get into arguments. That's okay, whatever. No big, it's going to happen. It's not easy living with the woman. I get that, but you get what I'm trying to say. Though there's a line. You know what I'm saying? Though, you know.
I'm gonna leave that cigar there. It's getting truly stinky and creamy, and I think that's almost the worst combination you can have.
So that is with that.
Yeah.
I think when you have children, you just want them to be happy.
Hmm.
You know? So I don't care if she's with the guy and he works at Walmart. I don't give a shit. And if he has a job, he's employed, and they have a life together, and he treats her well, that's all I care about. You know what I'm saying? Though he gets up, and goes to work. I respect that. But that's all I'm saying. Though. So, but if the guy has no ambition and he's a bum, it's a difference. You know
Yeah.
what
That's fair.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, guess that's where I'd leave that topic.
I mean, how could you not go for those things, right? I guess that's really how it comes down, because if you, like you said, and I'm not saying this is what I think should happen, but I'm just looking at what could happen in our society. If you have a woman who is, like you say, somebody meets the parents of the son, somebody, or the kid, the boy, and then somebody meets the parents of the girl. Um, yeah, like there may be an implied, um, there may be an implication that the guy will take care of the girl, in which case the questions would be different. So I guess it comes down to, we're shaped by what our what we expect the interaction to be, which is obvious. Um, I don't know how that could ever change. I guess it changes over time, where different people elect to have different roles, um, and in that way, I guess society will change as it looks to change, and we don't really have to control it. We just have to do the best for each.
There's only one dual model that has ever worked, and
Mhm.
that's traditional nuclear family. Mother to father, and they have children. Now, if they can't have children or they don't want to adopt, whatever, that's their choice. But I'm just saying, like, this is this is the backbone of society, which works not just for now, but it works for the future. Because then those people end up becoming grandparents and their children, and they pass down generational wealth and they pass down generational wisdom. The
Hmm.
family, just like our mother's still there for her.
Hmm.
Why? Because the family had a traditional family. You know, if we just start knocking people up and then just take off, and there's no, you know, parents involved, then what do we have? You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not saying people that are orphaned can't have a, but at least if you have a society take care of those children and try to, you know what I'm
Sure.
saying? No orphan. You tell like they raise orphans, like make sure you just make more orphans. You know what I'm saying? Like no, like well, like that's like the bare bottom, and they're like let's hopefully you end up in the same place. You know what I'm saying? Though.
I think very interesting is the Haida, which is a tribe of Native Americans from Canada, from British Columbia, I think. Um, but they would live in multi generational longhouses where you would have multiple families, but all the way from you'd have 3 generations, 4 generations if they survived that long. I don't know, but you would have the grandparents available to the children. You know what I mean, to guide them. I often think about that a lot. I think that's a I think there's a lot of value to that that we don't appreciate. Like you say, everything has become very a la carte, right? Like you can, like a guy will have a kid with a woman and then just like dip, but like, what's the opposite of that? Is you have the
Well,
grand.
I'll tell you why that's happening more often now than it was 50 years ago.
Mhm.
Society supports that
Right.
because the girl doesn't mind getting pregnant and the guy dipping because society will help her out.
Hmm.
Whereas if society didn't help her out, the woman wouldn't give that man that option. So you go get married. In the 1950s, you got married so you could have sex because she was going to get pregnant and you had a family. So you could say, oh, but they force people into marriage. Well, what's the other option? What we're doing now? You know what I'm saying, though?
Right.
What we're doing now? And then you can say, oh, there's birth control. So is it better now that a girl's on birth control and she had 100 partners by the time she's 30 and she's so fucked up in the head and you think she's using men, but she's getting used. You think going out every night to a club and taking a strange guy home every day and you're 40 years old now and then you're gonna die a cat lady? Is that good too? And I'm not saying when you're young, you don't want to roll your oats and have some fun, but at the end of the day, though, if all you're doing is having fun, we're in a fun society where it just and then but there's side effects to that too. The microwave fast food society, instant pleasure, and
Right.
then have no happiness. You're gonna die alone.
Hmm.
The human family is what keeps things together, and of course, nothing's perfect. But um, if you look at even the human family back then, like when I was growing up, every mother was your mother too. Because if I was
Hmm.
in that kid's mother was my mother, meaning like if I disrespected her, not only was his father going to get beaten, he's going to tell when my mother used to pick me up at my friend's house, my mother or my father, they would ask the mother and father, was he good? That first at the bat because I'm representing my family there. Because if I misbehaved, I'm shaming my family, and they're gonna throw you a beating like you. And every time I have a friend's mother, oh, he was so good. He cleaned up the toys. He did this. He said yes. He said please. You know what I'm saying? Though, he ate all his vegetables. And, oh, good, good, good. Because you know what I'm saying? It might seem small, but like I respected my friend's parents
Right.
even more to a T over there because you're representing,
Of
your you know what I'm saying, though? And
course.
that's the way they grow up. And this kids should have a level of fear and respect and reverence to their parents or any parent figure. Now, of course, if you have one parent in that situation was abusive to children, but that's my parents wouldn't let me hang out with people that they would before I went to my friend's house or something, they would know the parents. And generally because back then with our religion, they knew them from the church. And they would say, oh, they and by going knowing people from the church, you had a group of people with a set morals. Because
Hmm.
perfect. But do you know what I'm saying though? There were certain things like
Yeah.
family and sacred, and so you get what I'm saying with that. So
I,
it's
I think we can't assume that people are going to have the same exact set of morals, like religiously, because we're a melting pot country, and I think that's a good part of the country. But I do think.
well, you could name your God this or that, or you could not believe in God, but you could agree on not abusing children. You could agree on murdering each other. You could agree on not being a drunk all the time or a drug addict. So like, you know what I'm saying? But so you could get that morality from religion or not religion, but you get what I'm saying. It's a
Right.
set of understood ideas. You know what I'm
And
saying?
and I think it's important. It may be important. I'm thinking about all the components here. It may be important to have some morals which are American or whichever society you're in that are shared, so that there's an agreed upon system. I'm thinking about
But
that.
with and you can't have a society.
Right.
Meaning, if you're in, if you because if you're in a place and it's a safe neighborhood, why is it a safe neighborhood? Everyone in that neighborhood has decided to agree on a certain set of morality, not to steal each other, not to kill each other, not to be taking each other's cars. You know, what I'm saying, on a mass level, no one's taking everyone's wives. You know what I'm saying? Now, things happen here or there, but what I'm saying, though, overall, if everyone's cheating on their wives in the same neighborhood, and the whole neighborhood ends up divorced, the whole neighborhood's going to be a broken neighborhood. So
Well,
it's.
you think about it like the lounge, like you were saying earlier. This lounge, the internet is a place for just anonymous people to do whatever. But this lounge,
There's no accountability.
right? But this lounge is not. There is accountability in this lounge, and generally, we expect, and people do tell the truth.
Live, whether you're making comments or especially you were here in the live, you're not going to bullshit Richie.
Right.
I'm going to be very honest, and I expect you to be very honest. You know what I'm saying? You don't tell me all your deepest secrets, but you get what I'm saying, though. If you're bullshitting me, I'm going to figure it out real quick. You know what I'm saying? You
So,
say, "Oh, I used to play for the New York Giants," and I'm like, "Oh, what year? What position?" And all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, I can't tell you that." Like, you're so full of shit. You know what I'm saying, though? And so, I mean, that's what it is, though. I mean,
but but also having that standard, having some education, having some, not rules per se, but morals around the lounge, allows us to sniff out when something is wrong, or because if anything goes, then how do you have any reference point to be able to say this person is misbehaving or is trying to do something?
and then you go back to what I talk about morality,
Right.
because my moral gauge morality is the Bible, and for you, you can talk about not that you're religious, but you grew up Jewish with the Old Testament, the Torah, which is part of my Bible. The point is, if you look at the Ten Commandments, anyone can look at those concepts across the world and say, "Oh, not bearing false witness. There's a good idea." Because there's consequences to bearing false witness. People go to prison. How many men went to prison because someone lied? Oh, he raped me, and it didn't happen. They bared false witness. Or how many people? Oh yeah, he stole that, and you're bearing false witness.
Right.
But that's why back then, to bear false witness or bear truth, they required two or more witnesses, because they couldn't just take one person's word for it. Because what if you just didn't like them? You know.
What I'm saying, or what I'm thinking about is this this is emerging in our conversation, and our ongoing conversation, which we haven't had recently because we've been smoking cigars, but in previous lives. Um, what are these components that are important in order to have a society that's functioning? And something you often talk about is the way that a woman is allowed to have a child, then be supported by the state. You're saying erodes the family and erodes.
I was trying to explain to you, the
Yeah.
state go over the fathership.
Right.
The father now that children. Oh, how are they? Oh, I don't know. They gave you Section 8 housing. They
Hmm.
gave you food. So now you could say, well, I could just sleep with anyone, and the man has no responsibility anymore. So
Hmm.
then he's free to do whatever he wants. But then in reality, with that responsibility keeps him in check.
Mm.
That responsibility of a child, once you make a child, and that child's yours, responsibility, you're going to pay the support, or you're going to be in the kid's life, and morally, you're going to be a good example. You know,
Hmm.
without without that pressure, in a sense, um, it's going to happen either way. Or some, children need children need their parents, both of them, the mother
Right.
and the father. They're both equally as important, but they provide different roles. You know what I'm saying, though?
Well, I think, again, thinking back to what I was saying about longhouses, and I think there's something so compelling about that. And it's the opposite of what we're having, which is very much like do whatever you want. And I think the problem with this do whatever you want is a couple things. First of all, we're
Satanic, the satanic culture. the main phrase they have is "do what thou wilt," and that will be the whole of the law. And that goes back to Aleister Crowley, who brought in the modern age, the modern era, the New Age movement of satanic. It's not like you think, "Oh, hail Satan!" It's do whatever you want, do what you got to do. And so, if everyone's doing whatever they want instead of doing what is right, you're going to have a wrong society, and that's why we're at right now.
Hmm. I think so, but there's a couple things. I think we're experiencing a tremendous amount of propaganda, propaganda that I don't believe belongs to anybody coming from inside of our state. I believe it's external propaganda that is manipulating the minds of American people.
Well,
The
what
issue,
is the music is propaganda, movies is propaganda. Why? Because it's infiltrated by. It's not like you think where they make music. Some guy who's trying to make honest music and just make music, right? He's not going to go nowhere. He'd be an independent artist.
Mhm.
Anyone who becomes mainstream, at a certain point, they were boutique. They were boutique cigar, but they get bought out and sold out. If they want to become popular and make the money and be in the stadiums, they're going to be owned, and they're
Mhm.
going to they could say, tell them what kind of music they write, and the music that's being put out of late, you can say the past 20 years, there's no morality in the music. You look at the music even from the 60s, it's talking about falling in love with a girl and whatever, young sweethearts and they're going to get married. Now, music now is sitting there, twerk that ass. Twerk that ass. Everything is clapping cheeks, I mean, but, and what are you going to, is- you understand what I'm saying though? Like,
I wonder if there's an aspect that,
would you agree that society for young teenagers, you look at the music, it's completely over sexual and over violence. Like,
oh yeah,
not good role models. You know what I'm saying? No.
I remember I used to always listen to rap music because I really enjoyed and I'd still listen to rap music, but I used to enjoy the beats so much, and I thought it was just the sound of it was incredible, and I still believe that.
It's
Um,
a great art form. It's great poetry. Represent where you're from. It's a very interesting, unique
right,
form. I do
and
love
and
rapping,
I
but I've
oh
become
sorry,
very, very destructive because instead of being about having fun and getting down on a Saturday night or whatever, or being the man, or meeting some pretty ladies. Okay, the music now is just basically sell drugs and kill each other and this and that. And, you know what I'm saying though? And there was a song recently the woman sang about. It was a rap about having abortions, and they made it in front of a Planned Parenthood. I was like, yeah, that's what young teenage girls need to have a song about. You know what I'm saying? Like it was just like it was so grimy.
I think there is a benefit to having counterculture. I think people should be allowed to speak out in a weird direction and see what happens. I think that's part of our process of free speech. So that's one thing. But I think, like with rap music, I remember one day I was listening to Lil Wayne, and I had been listening to a lot of Lil Wayne. And one day, suddenly, I start listening to the lyrics. I hadn't been thinking about the lyrics that hard, and I was like, I don't really agree with the way that he frames women at all. And sometimes it was okay, and other times I was like, this is really kind of uh, unacceptable. And that was kind of the first shift that I had with that experience. Anyway, but what I
Like
want
if
to
you had a young daughter, would you want your daughter to be talked to like that, or
right,
considered she's just a hoe, and you're like, that's not, you wouldn't, well, one would want their daughter, you know,
sure,
no
and
father, their
I
daughter be.
would I wouldn't treat any woman that I was with that way, right? I wouldn't like what that would do to our relationship, right? I don't want to demean a person that I'm spending my time with just so that they can be fucked up in the head. It
Do you
doesn't.
feel like 70s music, man, for example, like like the disco stuff, they be talking about, and trust me, people haven't said it, but it's like it's all about getting down and getting groovy and having a good time on a Saturday night, and adults doing their thing. Okay, sure, but it, the music has come full circle. And just as I agree, as our cigars have become more stronger and more violent, what I'm saying, because of a stronger, violent society,
Mhm,
the music and movies, even look at the movies, like, and I'm not saying I'm against horror movies or whatever, but you get what I'm trying to say. Like, it's just,
mhm,
it depicts our society, like,
mhm,
um, um, we're becoming more numb to the grotesque on every level. And then now with the internet, people are becoming more numb to grotesque real violence,
Hmm.
where movie violence. When I was a kid, I had this VHS called "The Faces of Death," where there was like shocking footage of where they on real camera they had where people really died supposedly. Right now, you see people die on YouTube to like warn and grab, and it's just like you'll see a guy like get to argue with somebody and just shoots the guy in the head, or just shoots him 40 times, and or a guy getting shot by the police 100 times. And so I think we're just so numb to um, like our entertainment is reality has become our entertainment.
Mm.
And like I'm saying no, but it's kind of crazy when you think about it.
There's a point I wanted to make. Let me try to. Oh yeah, what do you think about this? You were saying that you have a mainstream artist and they have to be bought and sold,
They
but
have to become famous. You had to be bought and sold by the people that run this world, and it's all
hear me out for a sec. You were saying like it's like a boutique cigar, right? And when you have a boutique cigar, it's niche. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you want to be a brand like Aladino or I don't know, that's my favorite, right? But you have a small brand that guys like us might appreciate, right? We're smoking the cigar on purpose. We're thinking deeply about it. We're discussing it. We're looking for what makes a really good cigar, and that matters to us. The average consumer is probably not doing that. The average consumer might be thinking, "Let me buy the Gordo. It's larger, so I'm getting more value for my money."
what they
Uh,
want to. Other guys are smoking. They want to fit in. They want to blend in.
right.
I want to smoke what's popular. And what I'm saying is, I'm not saying on the same token talking about how musicians when they get bought out. It's not the same thing I'm talking about where cigars when they get bought out by a larger conglomeration now they become garbage or bad. But you know what I'm saying. But dude, I'm telling you, to become on the level of a famous musician, it's because it's big business, man. I mean, look how many people that are famous die weirdly. They have contracts and everything else. With these rappers, a lot of their I would say handlers, the people that own all their rights to their music,
Mhm.
they have death clauses. So when the person dies, they have insurance on them. They make more money off them when they're dead. And so, what's to stop these record labels to killing their own people once they can't be controlled? Or
Interesting.
I'm telling you, at a certain point, they say we invested enough money in this person. We'll move on to the next. They're worth more dead, and we own their album collection. And I'm telling you, it's the same thing. Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson. They killed him, and because he was arguing with Tom Mottola of Sony, and
Let,
no matter
let-
how one is right, nobody beats the house, and so the house doesn't want. It's almost like they never. The master never wants his student to outshine him. So you know what I'm saying? Though you could be a famous artist, but you're gonna have handlers, and if you try to think you're gonna outbeat the system, you're worth more money to them dead.
let me run down a line of thinking that's parallel to this, not exactly related, but related to the earlier conversation, which is if you have a niche artist who's just making honest music, like you were saying, that can appeal to people who are living an honest lifestyle or having a certain experience. Whereas if you want to be a large musician, and I'm not talking about the
If
uh,
you're famous,
yeah, famous musician. Well, what I say when I say large, I mean have a large market share. If you want to have a large market share, you need to be making music that appeals to many, many people. Same thing with like a cigar. So I don't think like yes, Tatuaje and Illusione are popular, but they're not mainstream, right? And the mainstream stuff is kind of goes to kind of a lowest common denominator, I think, because it goes to the. Does that?
mainstream, you need your own farms, you need your own factories. Look, Rocky Patel in the beginning, people were making his stuff, and then how to become mainstream? Well, that just takes hard work and time, and you expand and you make the right choices. And like him and Perdomo, etc., even though they're not like our favorite brands, they're vertically integrated. Once you become vertically integrated, that would be like the equivalent, though, of that's different than music, though, because see, we choose what cigars we smoke. You
Mm,
don't choose what songs get played on MTV or the radio.
mm.
No, and that's a whole different. And you don't choose what music is to be put in movies. So like, music is such a dynamic thing. Like, so it's like that's why I'm saying this. Like you choose what humidor, but like who's going to play music at Giant Stadium, tomorrow at a concert? You didn't
Right.
choose to buy a ticket, you know.
That's a good point. Okay, so going back to something we were talking about earlier that I really want to. Uh-huh.
Very personal. Your collection or what you choose to smoke in your mouth and
Right.
buy is each one individual choices. They
Mhm.
might be influenced by the show here. Hopefully, just so that we're not smoking bullshit or understanding what's good about a cigar or when it's good to be smoked or what's good, what characteristics does it bring out. I'm not really trying. My goal is more about putting information about each cigar I review. Now, whether you like it or I dislike it is irrelevant. It's more about the information about it. So, for example, this is an okay cigar, but it's very strong and it's very simplistic. So, if you're looking for a simplistic, strong, dark Nicaraguan cigar, it's affordable stick, maybe $10, then it fits the bill. You know, so it's more like mine's like a catalog of putting out just I like to put out the information. Now, of course, if I like it, that's a bonus. But there have been guys that are like, oh, I didn't like that cigar. Okay. I'm not gonna say they're wrong. I mean, it wasn't for them.
Sure. So, okay, so going back to something earlier, which is our ongoing conversation that we've been having, um, I think when you split out and you have a system where you don't have parents teaching children, grandparents teaching children, it means that people are, um, I mean, less educated in life and also more arbitrary in their beliefs, right? Because whatever they are told by propaganda can become their belief. Does that make sense? Whereas if you had your grandpa, like for instance, when my grandpa told me certain things, I shaped up. I was like, I realize now I've been thinking something that's very wrong. Let
Because
me get
how did a grandfather become a grandfather? Meaning, how did he get to that level where he kept his family together? First of all, have a family, support a family, still be there. Because if he was out there doing fentanyl, he wouldn't have made it to his 60s or 70s. So
Mhm,
people that are out there living in tents right now, there's people over there in tents across the highway.
mhm,
Well, maybe they had some family structure, but they didn't listen to them. They listened to society. Hey, man, let's go do drugs. My father told me at a young age, if I ever catch you doing drugs, I'll kill you on the spot. I'll kill you, he said. I was so afraid of my father. I would never do drugs there anyways. He said, if I ever catch you doing drugs, so you want to go get drunk here and there, okay? So you just don't drink and drive. But if I ever catch you doing drugs are for bums, kid. And that fear is still there. I never want to be considered a bum in my father's eyes. If my father ever said, "You're a fucking bum, you degenerate piece of shit," he right there, he would say, "I'm going to take you out of my fucking will. I'm going to you disgrace to the family." And being Italian and being the first male born, it's a heavy, heavy crown because they represent the family.
mhm.
So that whether you think that's right or wrong, but that fear kept me in line, and rightfully so. My
But
mother would always say, "You're a strong man. Use your strength for service. Use it for the good of mankind." And I believe I use my strength more for good than the bad I've done. I've done some bad, but overall, and what I'm seeking for the future is to do good with what time I have, with what strength I have. I
right,
try to do as best I can. I still wear this. People make fun of me. Well, what is this? Why do I wear this? This bracelet was given to me by a homeless veteran. I met him when I was working at the VA in New York, and then he ended up getting a job there, like a part-time job, like to help like veterans that have drug issues. And then he got full-time employment, got a uniform, and he was so happy. And I would talk to him about his life and everything. He was older than me, and I always see him. I always just wave goodbye, and then he had to catch the bus. And then through talking to him about his bus experience, oh, where do you live? Oh, I live in this town. Oh, that town's about 20 minutes south of me. What time do you have to take the bus in the morning? Oh, I get about 4:30. I got to catch this bus, and then I take the bus to here, and then from there I got to wait a half hour, an hour. Sometimes the bus is late, and then I got to transfer. So all in all, he's spending 4 or 5 hours a day for there and back because there's no easy way to get to work. And he was always on work early, and this guy outworked everyone. And I couldn't believe his, especially what he went through his life and his drug and alcohol addictions and being homeless, and he's still like he bounced back and he, trying so hard. And then I looked at myself driving home in a Corolla. I'm not a rich guy, but like in my mind, like he was, like how much be rich? He was, oh, I'm just driving straight home to my house, and My missus is cooking me a steak dinner and she's doing my laundry, and then I'm going to clap cheeks 2, 3 times a week. So, like, how can I complain, right? So I told him, I said, hey, look, why don't you come in the car with me? There's a bus stop by my house. You get the bus from there, and then it's only a 20-minute straight run. And you're going to save yourself an hour, hour and a half a day. You know what? I did that. And I know what he started doing? He was able to work overtime because then he's getting more sleep and he wasn't so tired. He started overtime on Saturdays. So Saturday, I take the bus both ways, but all week, I saved a lot of time. You get home and you have a more normal life. And then he saved enough money. And then after I left New York, a little time after that, he got a car. But right before I left for New York, he made this for me. And I said, why'd you do that? He goes, oh, well, red and yellow with color for Marines. So, oh, I made it for you. And like I knew how much it probably took him time to make this, and it's just like the little good I could have done for him. It meant nothing to me. I enjoyed the company. We would scratch off tickets on the way home and stop for buy a cigar, and you got him into cigars a little bit, but I don't know. And I talked to him now, and now he's actually supervisor. He's no problem with money now. And so, but where he was, at his lowest in a sense, I was able to help him. And to me, it's just a reminder of what, you might think it's not a big deal. Who could you help? But you're more valuable than you think, and you have it better than you think. So when I see this too, like, how could I fucking complain? I never had to take the bus to work, right? You know what I'm saying though? So like, because also too, God forbid, if if my car broke down tomorrow or whatever, but my dad would be like, oh yeah, how much is it? 2,000? Here you go. Let's go fix it. And going back to the traditional family structure. You know what I'm saying though? So I'm just saying though, so it's just a reminder of how good I have it. I thank God that I have a good family and a good father. Not that I rest on that, but I'm just saying though.
Hmm.
And, he didn't. He had a tough life, you know, and he has no family, no one to help him out. But I helped him out. Why? Because it was the right thing to do. You can call it morality. You can talk about the Bible with the what's the word? The Good Samaritan, helping a stranger for no reason.
Hmm.
Whatever. You know what I'm saying? No, but so that's why I wear it. You know what I'm saying? No, it's a reminder. I'm not into really jewelry. It's not my thing. You know.
So that's important, but we can't rely that everybody will help everybody out. And I think we rely on that too much now. And we rely too much on individual thought, individual choice, where we've left behind too much of what we're talking about. And I think this is the issue we're running into. And I think you've brought this up in different ways. I think you're pointing into something similar, right? The erosion of morals, which are bind us together, the erosion of family structure, which binds us together. And when I say family structure, I mean intergenerational learning and cooperation and help. And when it comes down to, we split people out and we say, you're, let's say you're 21, you're an adult, you can get a job, now you just do whatever you think. It doesn't matter what your parents say, it doesn't matter what your moral code is. Your moral code now comes from the job that you work, the society that you're in, the propaganda that you intake. I think i wonder if that could work, but I know right now it seems to not be working because we're so inundated with propaganda. We have been.
Well,
Yeah.
but that propaganda has forced people to make a lot of bad decisions.
Right.
Like for example, people can get work here in America. And most people don't. They make bad decisions with their money. They blow their money, and they max out their credit cards, and they have nothing to show for it. So I don't know. I mean, it's still a society is a group effort, but of individual choices. You know what I'm saying though?
Sure.
That guy, I'm in an apartment right now, but if if this was 10 years ago, we'd be in a house. Because we're paying for an apartment. That's just society.
Hmm.
And I think we're going to see a change. A whole bunch of real estate companies are getting sued for falsely inflating the market so that way their realtors can make more commission. You know what I'm saying, though? So, like, my point is this: the people sleeping in the tent made their decisions. Made their decisions. You know, whether it was drugs and alcohol and bad decisions, um, whatever, street life or girls running the streets and making bad decisions, and that generally girls hooking, their time runs out, and then now what happens when nobody wants you no more, or you're used up, and it's nobody living that kind of life. They have to end up doing drugs to deal with
Mm.
doing drugs. Is not necessarily bad people. They're doing drugs because they're dealing with pain and misery in their own life, and they're trying to escape it. But all they're doing is making it worse.
1 second. Sorry. Be right back.
Yeah, the cigar overall is a dark, simplistic, strong cigar with a heavy finish. 4.2. Wasn't a bad cigar at all, but not, I wouldn't say jump out and go and buy the cigar. Definitely for a lesser price point, the AJ Fernandez, like New World Oscuro, is a superior blend and for less money.
I'm
I get
thinking.
what I'm trying to say. Though, no matter what, we can't shirk the idea of individual responsibility because you are an individual. You have your own credit score, whether it's good or bad. You have your own social security number, and you wake up and you have the sun and the moon just like everyone else.
Mhm.
And what do you do with it? It's just as a you can have good tobacco, but the blender has to make a good blend. And then your part, you got to keep it in good condition and then smoke it right too. So you know,
I was thinking it's almost like a union. Like if you have a family structure, if you have morals, if you have a community structure, it's like a union. You can't be taken advantage of in the same way, and there's some sort of safety net. I think if you have a union that is too strong, you can also have a problem, right? If
yeah,
you're
safety nets, but they can't abuse them either. Like what I'm saying though, like unemployment is there for when you get laid off, okay, but to be perpetually rely on a system and you're able-bodied and to do nothing,
right,
no society like that could sustain itself. You know,
right. Well,
so
this is exactly what I'm saying. I think what we're looking at is there's sort of a sliding scale. There's a gradient from most alone, most singular, to most interweaved, experiences. Having a union, having family structure, church, whatever, versus alone, your choices, whatever information you get.
but alone still rely on society though. I didn't make this water. Like I'm trusting the system, and
Sure.
we pay rent, we have a refrigerator, and then I have a filter and filters it. Somebody had to make this glass. Somebody did you make that coat? No. Somebody had to make. So we're all living proof of the good we have is made by people making. Somebody had to you have those eyeglasses. Did you make those eye? Did you become an eye doctor? You know what I'm saying? Though, so there is a lot of good in our society when we work together, but each person is an individual incentive to do good so you could have a life. You could Joe the pizza guy or Bob the plumber or John the doctor. We're all in it together, but still individual results may vary.
Right.
But having a family structure to keep you in line or force you to go forward, and nobody wants to see their family go backwards. And when they do hit rock bottom and go backwards, they want to get them back on their feet. You know what I'm saying? No, and some
Right.
people can, and I've seen people bounce back, and some people choose to never bounce back. When I was smoking my cigar outside my job, I had like a half hour to kill. I'm still finishing my stick. It's right next to a homeless shelter, and there's just people just lying there, and there were some young people there, just lying there, and it's like you got time, you're able-bodied, but you're choosing to lie here, like. Well, they probably have drug issues and everything else, and so they can't get a job or keep a job. So it's sad. So it's no matter what, too. There's going to be people that fall through the cracks, and some people just you can't help. Some people don't, and some people are too far gone. They can't be helped because with drugs or alcohol addictions, once you get to a certain point, some people are just beyond repair. In the automotive term, non-salvageable. Like the car is totaled, and unfortunately, we can't just jump from car to car when it comes to the human body, so the body can only take so much. Like, I didn't get to 40 years and having this kind of hair by, making bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? Though I limit the alcohol content. I don't do drugs. I get sleep. I exercise. I try to, you get what I'm saying? Stay strong, mentally too, But if these things are out of whack and you're like not sleeping or drinking like crazy and doing drugs like crazy or being a slut and just fucking everything and you catch a bunch of diseases, and also mental disease of just now you're not um, how do you say bondable with someone else and you can't have a relationship. Relationships make things better if it's a good relationship because like me and my missus, we split our rent, we split our groceries, we cook and clean together, we're there for each other. When one's having going through a rough time, the other person, it's not 50. Like right now, it's like 90-10 in my house because she's sick. But do you see how we adapted to that? And I'm hoping that when she gets better, be less stressful for me and less stressful for her. So it's and that's where it goes. Talking about going back to old morality, where they talk about marriage, but really the idea of marriage is just a union between a man and a woman, or whatever. Now, but my point is, it's for better or worse. So right now we're in a worse part because it says in sickness and in health.
Right.
Why? Because life has ups and downs,
Right.
and but if you don't stick to the downs, you won't be able to see a chance if it gets back up. Now, maybe I never go back up. Maybe because she's sick, maybe she won't get better, and then something I'll have to deal with as it goes on. And I hope to God she does get better. I hope she does make it. If she doesn't, then that's out of my hands. But in the meantime, then I'll stick with it to the end. But I'm hoping that we'll get through it, and you know, um,
Yeah.
so the idea about going by social contracts and morality is not a perfect system, but those ideas help keep people on some kind of track. And you look backwards and go, well, that's how my parents were able to get through life. And that's
Mhm.
how my parents, because without that, in a way, they're older people are there to let you know what's going to happen to you if you're lucky enough to get old. And people that die tragically of bad decisions of their own accord are there as a reminder not to do that. My friend that was young, a little younger than me, but he had drug problems and he ended up allegedly committing suicide and jumping off a 17-story building. But I believe he got murdered in a drug deal because he was looking to buy heroin.
Mhm.
Point, he was out of his mind on drugs. So the point is, though, you can say, "Oh, those people killed him in a drug deal; they threw him off it." But it was like 10 years of drugs, hard
Right.
drugs.
Bad
With
decision leading
all,
to that.
told him I can't hang out with you no more because I hung out with him, and then throughout the night I realized everywhere he went, he knew people, but he was like going in the back of the restaurant, or we went to go see a movie. He's like, and then a car pulled up. He's like, "Oh, I'll be right back," and he goes in the car with this guy. I'm like, "Who's this guy?" And he comes back. He's all wired, and I'm like, "Wait, I thought we want to go see a movie." "Oh, no, no, and then finally I drove him home. I said, "I can't hang out with you, man." I said, "You're getting me involved. I don't know." I said, "You got problems, man, and I'm not judging you. I love you." His name was Jason. But I said, "I have a kid. I can't get pulled over because you got stuff on you or you're meeting guys in parkland. You told me we are going to go see a movie. We hang out. We went to a bar, have a drink or two. But you clearly have drug problems. You know what I'm saying, though? And your choices in life are not agreeing with mine. And I have a kid to worry about in my own life. And I'm not saying I'm perfect, but I can't be getting involved with this." And that's the last time I saw him. And then about a year later, he got killed or threw himself over. He got thrown because he went to buy something from someone, and it was at a job site, a construction site in Manhattan, early morning. And there's safety nets on job sites, so there's no way he took off safety nets and jumped through over a safety net in 17 stories. He got thrown the fuck off, and that's that. But in reality, if it wasn't that, it was going to be something else. You know what I'm saying, though? So of course it was terrible. I was close to the mother, and I was there at his funeral, and I played piano at the funeral. The mother asked me, "Could you play piano?" Okay, so I played like melancholy and like some religious music, but very very soft and somber music. And as I was playing the piano there and looking at the coffin, um, it's just such trouble. It was a reminder ingrained in me of that's me if I would make those choices. Everyone in a bad place, you got to say it's easy to judge, but also say that's you if you made their choices. So as a cautionary tale, not to get involved in drugs, because I can't stress enough, because he was on the user part now, and I don't recommend people getting into drugs on the selling part because you end up in prison or dead, So on either way, it's sad, you know, no matter what, and he was an addict,
Yeah.
and that kid had everything. He was I say this as a straight man. He was a handsome young Italian guy. He was an expert drummer. He used to actually play drums and conga and like rhythm drums for who's that guy? Oh man, famous. He was in Vegas. He was on tour with him. Santana. He was making money. I mean, after high school, everything he traveled the world and like he was in Vegas and California and playing in shows and like playing in nightclubs. He would make a couple grand to play in a nightclub and they have a DJ, but also be playing the rhythm drums with the music and like fancy nightclubs. But everywhere he went, he burned bridges and borrowed money and not paid people back, and then he had to move before they, killed him, you know, and uh, and then back at home in New York, when he come back home and get in trouble with the cops, always minor stuff, but always possession and stupid shit and DWIs and like he had the world by the balls. He could have been literally a famous drummer for anyone, or at least in a cover high. I mean, to play for Santana, you got to be pretty good, and he blew it. He blew it, but that's no one's fault but himself too. And that's a hard pill to swallow.
Hmm.
But he threw himself. The symbolic idea of him getting thrown off a building, he threw his life away years before that, but it finally caught up with him. You
Yeah,
the wages of sin are death. So if you're gonna, it's a sin to waste your life. So if you keep on, not saying if he would have turned around, but he kept on throwing it away. You
right.
know, I don't, and the last time I saw him, I told him I can't hang out with you. I can't do this, and I'm glad. Matt, I couldn't be around that. You know,
Yeah, for sure.
gotta watch out for the people around you. It could be someone but if they're getting that off course, they're gonna drag you down. Someone covered in shit is gonna get you stinky. There's no, you know,
For sure.
wasn't fresh. You know,
Well, here's my conclusion for the night. What I want to share is, it seems to me that that individual decision is important and safety net is important. That you need both, as you've illustrated in both directions.
he
Uh,
had his mother. Every time he needed money, his mother gave him money, and it just prolonged his drug
yeah,
habit stuff. You know,
but on average, I think something that I haven't considered before, but is important is, we it's a sliding scale between how much we value the safety net side of a society, versus how much we value the individual side of a society. And I think one of the issues maybe we're facing now is we're so individual, that we've tipped the scale too far, and that we're losing some of the safety net. That's my concern.
yeah, but the safety net is not what the safety net was more of a moralistic code in
Hmm.
my.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's what.
now we're trying to replace morality with safety nets. Like, oh, we have safe sites now where you can shoot up.
Mm,
Oh, has candy machines with clean crack pipes and condoms, so you
right,
could suck a dick and not catch AIDS and get a free crack pipe. Oh, like so. Whereas when we relied on morality, it's like, yeah, you can't be doing this, and
right.
now, well, we could do it, but we'll just do it safely. There's no safe way to be living in that what I would call living in sin. Like that kind of egregious life where you're going to be a prostitute or you're going to be out there being an addict or you don't want to have a job. You think you're just going to lay around and like stupid shit's going to happen. You know what I'm saying though? Um, I can't stress it enough. Um, a man needs to be occupied, and even if it's a shit job, at least that job is paying you something and
Hmm.
keeping you out of trouble. and making you tired enough when you go home, hopefully, so you don't have enough energy to go to prison and do something stupid. Like, nah, I can't do that. Why? I got to get up and go to work in the morning. So there's nothing wrong with being a working man. It keeps you out of trouble. So there's plenty of working man or rich men that are in prison because they're making bad decisions. So that's.
Hmm.
Yeah, so prison is a social contract, but everyone in there individually applied. So we can't separate. We are a society, but each person is held individually responsible, not only from the law but from life. Like constantly, let's say drinking soda, you're going to become diabetic. Like this, you can say, "Oh, society provided for me." Yeah, but soda was supposed to be something to have like once a week with some pizza or Chinese food, not every day and not all day. You can't drink Mountain Dew for breakfast. You can't be drinking a Monster with your lunch and then have a 2 liter of Coke with your dinner. Like so, is that society's fault or your fault? Well, you had no personal discipline, you know, and so
But
you know,
if you don't have a good family structure, I mean, it could just come down to the specific of it. But like like you said, you wouldn't do that because your dad said, "If I catch you doing drugs, I'll kill you. You're a bum." And you said, "I'm not doing drugs." So if I'm not saying you would have ever tried it, but if somebody was not in that situation, maybe they would try it and they go
it
down a
wasn't
different.
my father's words. I held my father in such a high regard, and he was such a moral man as far as family.
Mhm.
That I what I'm saying. So it was if you just said it was backed by our
Was that-
family and also the past, present, and the future. So it's my father says to me means more than anyone in the world, anyone. So because I don't want to be disappointment to him. So just like I wouldn't want to be disappointed to my daughter. Now that's a different situation because in our modern society, getting divorced and having your kid taken away from you, I think is such an evil thing. 100 years ago, we would call that kidnapping and ransom. I say now we call that divorce and child support. So I mean, you could say Richie's wrong about that, but that wouldn't have worked 100 years ago. Or imagine the Pilgrim time, or imagine you know whatever any other time frame in the history of the world. Like it wasn't going to work out.
What's up, Sacco? We got Sacco and Jeremy. I think still Chewy, man.
What do they say?
Jeremy says he just got done working.
We're working late. We just finished our cigars. What's up, guys? Yeah, we're at the end of our cycle here. But yeah, definitely a great conversation. And I'm not saying there's any quick fix to it, but it's easier to fix society from individuals than from a society standpoint. So if each individual chose to make better decisions, society would be better.
Hmm.
We're supposed to look, bro. We can go through our history. There's been plenty of times where a society tries to impose dominion over its people and other people, and that doesn't work out. I.e., Hitler. He had socialistic ideas. This is what society is, and he
Hmm.
had and you do it or else. You know what I'm saying? Though, my grandmother grew up with Mussolini in Italy, and you did what they said or else. And how did that end up? But so it's better for society to have a more moralistic code to keep them in line than a police state. That's all I'm saying, though.
Hmm.
Because the road to hell is paved with good intentions. Every dictator in his mind had best intentions, like, oh yeah, this will be good for our people, But meanwhile, on the backs of millions of others get killed, you know. Whereas you waking up in the morning to decide this will be good for society. Me going to work, you know, me doing some kind of exercise, me making good financial decisions in your life. It's better off doing that way um, than from. What I'm saying is we have to work on ourselves from the inside out, not from the outside in. Does that make any sense?
Yeah,
Uh,
I
uh,
think. Yeah,
uh,
I think it doesn't. It can't. I mean, it comes down to the individual, but like you said with your example about the vet who you were able to help drive, he may not have been able to do it on his own. So it's also important how we come together and help each other, right?
yeah. But what I'm saying is when you have groups of people with
Hmm.
high moralistic ideas, it's much safer. If I walked into a room in Brooklyn with
Hmm.
1,000 Hasidic Jews, I wouldn't be worried about, oh, am I safe or whatever. Like, well, these people are following the Torah. These people follow the commandments. No one here's going to rob me. No one here's going to kill me. Well, how do I know? Well, because they're following this moral code. You know what I'm saying, though? Where, if I was in prison, surrounded by 1,000 prisoners, I'd be like, not so much moral code. You know what I'm saying? Like, so even people I don't follow or I don't live their lifestyle,
Right.
where you go. If I'm stuck with 1,000 Amish people, we're going to churn butter. We're going to make candles. But I'm not worried about anyone killing me. Why? Because it's against their moral code. So it's not that moral codes overall it's better for society than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Of do what thou wilt. If that makes any sense. So no matter how you slice it, whether it's the Amish or we can talk about this or this group or that group, people that want to go to work and come home to their family and provide is a better concept. And so there's individual choices, but for the masses, as opposed to the masses telling you what your individual choice is going to be. That's all I'm saying, though. Because we need to have that idea of choice. So individually choosing to be good is better than being told to be good.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
Because
Right.
Santa Claus coming to town. Like Santa Claus is in a sense, Santa Claus is like the Grim Reaper or a judge, and he rewards and punishes. It's a concept we teach children. He's making a list. Yeah, your gun background check has been denied. Santa Claus made a list. You're on the naughty list. So you're no longer allowed to possess firearms. And Santa Claus is like, I see you. I said I wasn't so good.
Yeah.
I'm down your chimney. Like the SWAT team. The SWAT team's coming down your chimney tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Coal and no Glock.
Exactly. Yeah. But that's all I'm saying. Though. So, so in reality, yeah, Santa Claus is a lie to children, but it's still embedded in that moralistic idea of it's better to be good than bad. Why? Because you're going to get rewarded if you can get rewarded either way. But when you're good for society, it'd be better for you than as if you're bad. And so, um, but in reality, why our society went off is because we're rewarding bad behavior. Never our societies, of course, because we're rewarding bad behavior. I just can't stress that enough. Stealing and people having kids just to get the child support. This is theft, and it's bad behavior. That's why a lot of men aren't getting married no more, and they don't want to have kids no more because it's like, hey, I've seen enough people get robbed from this. So, but the idea of marriage is a sacred thing, and I believe in it. But it takes two to tango. But the problem is when you have society. For example, if a woman gets pregnant and she wants to have an abortion, the father can't say, don't have an abortion. So we've taken the father out of the concept. So and what's his name? The comedian, Dave Chappelle said, all I'm saying is if women can have rights to abort the child, a man should have the right to abort child support if he chooses to. He goes, "What's worse?" He's like, "Not paying for the kid or killing it." So that's what I'm saying about it's only getting rewarded a choice on one side. So what I'm saying, so men, that's why men are just walking away. They're like, "I'm just not going to play this fucking game at all." And never has there been a society in America where we have so much men not having sex anymore. Now there are a group of men that are having more sex than ever, but there's a majority of men are just like, I'm not trying to try to date women anymore because they all want to marry a millionaire because they're on Instagram or they're getting flown out to Dubai to have a gangbang with a sultan, and that's a true thing. I mean, so I mean, it is what it is with that. So whereas if you had this moral idea construct for society, um, it is what it is. So. Could we get back on course to some kind of morality, whatever religion you want to call it, or not religion? Just but whether you're an atheist or a Jew or a Christian or a Muslim, not stealing and not murdering each other, not lying is a good idea.
Right.
It's like if you met Rich in real life, do you think I would do those things to you? No, why? Because I'm not going to prison, and not just that reason. That's a physical punishment, but in
Right.
turn, I'm not going to disrespect my family and just be a thief, because my father was the only thing. My father said, if I ever catch you stealing, I'll kill you. Like, so my father had a lot of rules, which ended with death. You know what I'm saying? But in reality, what he was saying is, if you steal and I find out you're a thief, you'll kill me. Because my father will be dead. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
Because respect the family. My father, I know what I never saw my father do? Take a sick day. My father got up every day and went to work. Saturdays too. Like, like there was no like, oh, I'm gonna take off today and have a personal day. Not in the 70s or the 80s. Like, you got up and you went to work. Like, only one time, like when he hurt his leg, he was home for a few weeks. It was weird. Like watching The Price is Right with my dad as a kid. And I'm saying, no, he's like, I gotta get back to work. And so it was a weird dynamic. But like, so, but that family pressure, he set a great example for me to see what a father is. Um, so it is what it is. And I saw how my mother cared for my father. And when we come home, my dad would come home from work. My mother would have all the kids lined up. Your father's home. Get to the door. And my father would be coming to the door and shaking his dirty boots off outside. And we'd open the door, Daddy, Daddy. Each kid, he'd hug and throw you in the air. And my mother would give him a hug and kiss. Dinner's ready, honey. Oh, I'm like, just what a great way, what I'm saying though. And then, but then my father, everything he saw, he would say, why is that? Why is only one shoe over there? Where's the other one? Like, or if shoes were in the closet, why weren't they next to each other matching? Why was one upside down? Everything had to be in its place. Like, what is that piece of lint on the floor? You look a little crumb. What's that over there? And you go to pick up the crumb, and he kick you, and you go head over heels. And so next time you pick it up, I won't have to kick you, right? And so when I see something that's not where it's supposed to, like my father, it was very tough with that. But that would be frowned upon now because everyone has cell phones. You know what I'm saying? No, but like it's like, but that was a different time. That was a different. Like, I'd be raking leaves at 5 years old, like raking. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think I started mowing the lawn around 7 years old. Like, my dad, I couldn't squeeze all the way, so my dad would rig it with tie wire, and he would just like, don't let go of it because you just go down the block. You know what I'm saying? So Ricky, little Richie, like hard labor. You always say no, no teeth, no bread. You got to chew yourself. You got to. And it was good to learn like that. It might have been a little hard. He was pretty hard. He was very hard, but it was better to have a father like that than to, oh, they're just kids. No, kids are going to be future men. You got to train them now. And so that's the way it was. But we could go on and on and on about society, but I think we could agree on we can only there's no point saying, well, let's fix society if we don't fix ourselves. We have to work on ourselves first, you know. Stop using torch lighters, using quality soaps, filtered water, staying fresh, you know, eating some vitamins, green drinks. I don't know, what I'm saying though. Work on yourselves and then you can help society. You can't, you know, you gotta breathe your own air first and then you can help others. If you stop breathing, now you can't help no one. So I think you have to think about yourself first and then help society. If you just, oh, society should help me and then I'll help others. How's that going to work? You know what I'm saying, though? You know?
Yeah. Yeah, because how can you help from a place of weakness?
Yeah, no, it's just it's like you're in trouble. You're going to call 911, right? Whether fire, police, emergency. But those individuals have to make a choice, not just for a job, but like, oh, I want to help people, or a cop, oh, I want to be a hero, okay, or maybe he wants to shoot somebody legally, whatever. I don't know, but you know what I'm saying. But like whatever. There has to be a group of individuals that each one has its role, because and each one can be abused too, though. But at the end of the day, the police is necessary because if someone's robbing a bank or someone's sexually attacking someone, you hope someone's coming there to help them out. Now, in between there, that's why I firmly believe in the Second Amendment that people protect themselves. But not everyone can because some people are just too weak or too young or not able-minded. You know what I'm saying though. So I mean, somewhere in between. But
Or slow draw.
or maybe they don't have any fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. You need to have like a dick gun, just like mounted to their dick. I got a cock. Yeah, it's just. But anyways,
Yeah.
I'm,
Chew on. Yeah. Just chew on this.
Yeah, sure. But I'm gonna go to sleep, man. 2 o'clock in the morning, and it was a good talk and good conversation. Morality, society. You know, that's all I can say. There's one thing you can say of all those different groups. The morality is what keeps them together. You know, I'm not saying they're perfect. I'm just saying, you know,
Yeah,
you
but
can't without the idea of morality.
I don't want to. I don't want to create a whole new path here, but it's something I've been thinking for a while. We You're right, and morality has bound us together, but we are starting to live in a world where those types of structures don't make as much sense for a lot of people. So we need to find new ways to create those same things, which I don't have the answer for now, but
Well, yeah, because corporations can't make money off morality.
right.
They can make a little money, but it's more profitable for them if the mother and father break up because now you got to rent two apartments. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying?
Right.
Why would they want you to buy one wedding ring? If you get married 4 times, you have to buy 4 wedding rings. You have to have 4 marriages. You see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
I'm telling you. And then each child support, then they control the man through the financial aspect, and they use that money for their games. So yeah, so I mean, they don't want a morality society is good for the people, not good for corporations. I can't stress that enough.
Right.
You know, because a morality society, like when my father dies, he always tells me, "You 3 children are going to get all my money." Well, if my father wasn't a moral man and he was never in our life, well, now no generational wealth is being passed down. You see what I'm saying, though? So morality is good for the family structure. Non-morality is good for corporations. Yeah, let's go eat more. Let's go drink more. Let's go fuck more. Get on Craigslist. Let's go do crazy shit. You know what I'm saying, though? That's good for corporations. That's not good for society.
Right.
Guess what happens when you run out of money and you get broke? That corporation, you can go be in a tent. No one's going to help you. And maybe some retreats, some of the morality will come and help you. But nobody from Walmart or Amazon is helping the homeless in the tents right now. But Richie might go out there and give them some water or something to eat or something like that. You know what I'm saying, though? So you get what I'm trying to say? So we scoff at individual decisions, but it's the most powerful thing we got. Like when I was sitting by the homeless shelter, all those people laying on the street, I was smoking my cigar, and uh, an Amazon truck was pulled up next to it at the stoplight, and I was just sitting there. It was just like the dual idea of society. You have all these drug addicts laying there, like just on the floor, just like life's over, and this Amazon truck like delivering someone's useless items they're gonna order. Like you know what I'm saying? Because they were too lazy to go to the store. Or the stores now are too dangerous because they want it that way. Everyone's stealing from stores, which they allow because they lowered the threshold. So there's no punishment for theft. So that way the individual experience is going to be over. You're going to have to order from Amazon. And that's all by design too. All by design. You go,
Interesting.
oh, that's all by design. Period. You guys say
I thought of that one. Yeah.
who benefits? Who
Sure.
benefits? So
Sure.
just going to be, in the future, there's not going to be any stores left. It's just you're going to be ordering everything online, or order and then go somewhere and just pick it up. And they're already doing it in the inner cities, like CVS. You want a toothbrush or diapers or baby formula in the inner cities? There's just a wall, and you order online, and then your bag just comes out. You can't steal anything, but you see, it takes away from the human experience. It's very not natural. But we could get to there because they had to let everyone steal everything. So cause and reaction. Because you guys are doing this, now we have to do this. But that's what they wanted to do,
Hmm.
you know. And we accept it because, well, what other choice do we have now, right? So it's. But if people will follow morality, society don't steal. Why? Because God's watching, or Santa Claus is watching. You're gonna be on the naughty list, right? We don't have to worry about that, And
Yeah.
also, I like normal stores. When I was a younger man, I brought plenty of women home from women I've met at the store. You know what I'm saying? No, you walk up next to a pretty lady. How you doing? Oh yeah, yeah. Oh wow. You like that toothpaste? Oh yeah.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Oh yeah. I'll tell you what. Yeah. Your husband like that toothpaste? Oh no, he's not around. Oh yeah, your husband's not around. Oh, yeah. I got that toothpaste in my house. But, you know what I'm saying? Now you just give me an order from Amazon. That's it. There's no human interaction.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to.
AI live chatbot. You like this toothpaste? Yeah.
It's like you got a robot at home. You got your stuffed doll that's just sitting there, and yeah, it's basically people are going to be fucking mannequins in the future. It's sad. Um, I just read a story. This guy said his mannequin had his third baby. It's a female, and it's just like, and he has like three like stuffed animals, and he's like, oh, I had three kids now. But in reality, at least that woman will never leave him and take the kids away and charge child support. So he's happy. He's got three kids and a beautiful wife that never ages. Yeah.
I'd rather smoke cigars.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying is that, like the guy in Jurassic Park said, life finds a way. So I mean, he still wanted the traditional family, but the guy didn't have any money, so nobody wants him, right? So he's got a mannequin and three dolls, but in his life, he has someone to care for. He's like, oh, these are my kids, and they need me. He needs that role, of society, which is sad that we're at that place, But
Yeah.
but women want the top 1% of men, and the top 1% of one man can get any woman. So it's like the lotto, no one wins.
Hmm.
You keep on scratching, maybe, but you know, like they have this calculator, and these shows I see for women. Like, okay, what guy would you settle for? Oh, he's got to be at least 6'2". Oh, okay. How much you got to make? He's got to make at least 150,000 or more. Okay. How about a six pack? Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, what about this? What about that? Okay. And they're like, yeah, that's 0.03% of the men in the world. And you think you're going to get that at 35 years old with two kids? You know what I'm saying? You're 400 pounds. Oh, yeah, it's going to happen. No, it's not. No, it's not. And then there's us in the cigar community. I don't really like Patel. Like, like I think it was, like we're the last cigar smokers, the last bastion of male happiness. We're just so content. Like, what I'm saying, you know,
Yeah.
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 What's
Yeah.
better, a
Just
full humidor or
picked up,
what's
yeah,
that?
picked up right there, and then
Yeah, but you're
everybody
what, a full humidor and an empty ashtray, or an empty humidor and a full ashtray. What's better? A person that has but never uses it, or a person that has not but used everything he has. What's better?
I guess the empty humidor.
I mean, that's the concept of what makes you happy. Some people, I think, enjoy more having the cigars and not smoking them.
For me, cigars is all about finding out what the good cigars are, knowing what it means to have a good cigar, and then being able to have them to give to other people to share them. You know what I mean? So to me, it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. Well, like I said, somewhere between is the balance. I think
Yeah.
if you have cigars, be afraid to use them, then why do you have them? But at the same time, I don't recommend smoking 10 cigars a day. So I mean, somewhere between is the balance of you know. I think one cigar a day is perfect. Something to look forward to. If that's your joy, you know. But pretty much outside of cigars, everything in life is stupid. I can't stress it enough. Like people are like, oh, video games, like yeah, poof, I'll never worry about that. I'm like, I gave that up when I was a kid. Yeah, it was fun, but it's like I'm not 8 years old. Nintendo's over, and like I have guys in my job like, oh, you don't do this or you don't game. I'm like, I'm a grown man. I clap cheeks and I smoke cigars. Like I'm a grown man. I was wasting my fucking time here. So got the Richie with the headset on and drinking out with my tremendous hands trying to and Richie's talking shit online. He's like, yeah, oh yeah, you guys aren't fresh. Yeah, 4 or 5 motherfuckers. Like Rich, like that's not for me. You know what I'm saying? No, it's what am I gonna do? Put puzzles together, or you know, I wouldn't mind playing more chess though. I was really good at chess. I like chess. Chess is psychological.
Yeah.
You know?
I prefer poker to chess, but yeah.
Both both games are not about chance. Really, it's about playing the other people.
Right.
So A lot of bluffing, a lot of show and tell. Poker is a fantastic game. I miss playing. I used to play that a lot. I was growing up. We'd have like $20 leagues, $20 games in New York. And it's just nobody. It's antisocial here in Colorado, so that's a good and a bad thing. But it's very hard to make friends out here. We're like on the East Coast in New York. Hey, you can make friends anywhere. You can be at the deli, picking up bagels or something.
That's probably the best place to make friends, if you ask me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It's just out here, nobody. Yeah, it is. But anyways, bro, I'm gonna get going, man. You take it easy. You stay fresh.
You too.
Don't do drugs.
Okay.
My dad would be really mad.
All right. Sounds good. Yeah.
All right.
We
Talk to you
won't
later.
let him.
Peace out.
Have a good night.
Take care.
Good talk.